Time. Welcome in some great people stopping by. We're going to go to that town in Pennsylvania, Charleroi, because the national media is there saying it's all made up, just like Springfield, Ohio. And I have in front of me to start the show today, and you know, we've asked them over the years to come on. They're not going to do that because they can't answer for this. You would think, with what we're seeing with all these refugee resettlements, that you would be very reluctant to be on the side. You'd have to be a progressive maniac, which there are some on this list. I'm looking at an open letter saying the people on this open letter want more of this refugee resettlement, like we've seen in Charleroi, we've seen in Aurora, Colorado, Springfield, Ohio, and a bunch of other cities. So I didn't see any in New Jersey that were nearby. But I did go to Pennsylvania, and some of the usual suspects are on here. Elizabeth Fielder, she's this very, very progressive from South Philly area. Tariq Khan, another very progressive representative from Philadelphia. You're getting the picture, right? Nicholas O'Rourke, he's city council in Philadelphia. He's the working families maniacs, okay? So you're getting the league that you're in here. Well, then why is it that also on the list is Carol Kennedy, township manager, out there in Upper Merion? Is Upper Merion, do you want a resettlement? Apparently, Carol Kennedy's on here. She does. She wants people, more people. They need them in King of Prussia, Upper Merion. Thousands of maybe Haitians she'd like to have. Carol, is that what you want? Feel free. We'll give you full time. I'll just shut up and you can tell us the wisdom of this. Why did you put your name on it? Over in Philadelphia, Joe Hohenstein, who's been on the show before, and he represents Bridesburg, Port Richmond, that area. He's a state rep. Do you think the people in Bridesburg and Port Richmond, do you think they want more refugee resettlement here? Not the last time I looked, as far as what they appear to want. And our old buddy, do you remember the battle we had out there in Springfield Township, the one in Montgomery County, Winmore, Pennsylvania? It's listed here. The township commissioner, Jim Lee, whose dad was a cop. Remember that whole thing when they went after the police and their First Amendment rights? Remember the sound we brought you? It was shocking, wasn't it, how anti-cop these people were? Remember the back and forth with the NAACP and all that stuff? His name is on here. See, here's how it works. Guys like Hohenstein, Kenny, and Jim Lee, they put their name on these things with these various groups, thinking these various groups, come election time or just any number of interlocking things, will see that. You're a good person. You're on this list. They don't think that the average person in their district, though, is going to hear about this. That's where I come in. That's where I see these open letters. I see these shenanigans, what they're involved in. So we'd love to have Commissioner, whatever she is out there in Upper Merion, Kenny, come on. You think the people in Upper Merion want to be inundated some more by what we've seen play out? That's what they're signing up on here. Nearly 500 bipartisan state and local officials from 50 states want more refugee resettlement in their communities. The U.S. Refugee Admissions Program, pathway to this type of stuff, they want to see more of that. And they go on to say, hey, Americans are with us. The overwhelming majority of Americans want that. Oh, really? They don't want it in their neighborhoods, and I think particularly now. Isn't that what this is about with Trump, aside from the dogs and the cats and everything else? Isn't this what this is about? This idea that nobody wants to be a small town like this and to be overwhelmed. They're trying to sell the message now that the Haitians coming to Springfield, Ohio, have revitalized the town. Is that true? All right, so I'll keep the list. We'll see if any of them will call in, 855-839-1210. Just tell Ms. Kenny, Joe Hohenstein, who's under a desk right now, hiding, And Jim Lee, who came on the show before during this, why would you want that in your community? Is your community on board? Have you surveyed people? Do you think that would pass? If so, let's get a list of the communities that want this, and then let's know that so we can put all this problem in their communities, right? The ones that always tout this, that are mocking the people of Charleroi and Aurora and Springfield, Ohio, and calling them racist and other names, let's put it in your town. Also, let's get to day 2 now, the aftermath. Late yesterday, Hillary Clinton jumps into the ring. Isn't this debate that the media with Trump just can't be brought to have this debate? Do they not get the rationale that if you keep on calling someone Hitler, it's one thing to say, I hate Trump, his policies are horrible, look at this guy, how the evangelicals support him, 3 marriages, yada, yada, yada. That's politics. You may not like it, but the secret sauce is what the problem is. It's the elephant in the room. They have carte blanche, deemed it to the end of the country. He's Hitler, at least Mussolini, fascist. And they want us to believe that that's not different than the usual back and forth. And they also want us to believe, if we don't believe that, if we can't get away with that, that Trump caused all this. On CNN this morning, that was the theme. 8 years of Trump has so coarsened us to this. That's why we're seeing them trying to kill Trump. In other words, blame the victim. Here's Hillary. This is her memoir yesterday. She comes out. And here it's cut 11. Here's Hillary talking about, well, Trump is a danger.
And I don't understand why it's so difficult for the press to have a consistent narrative about how dangerous Trump is. The late, great journalist Harry Evans, one time said that, journalists should, really try to achieve objectivity. And by that, he said, I mean, they should cover the object. Well, the object in this case is Donald Trump. His demagoguery, his danger to our country and the world, and stick with it.
All right. So, again, he's going to get rid of democracy, danger to the world. This is much different than anything. And why can't the media continue to say that? She also called for possible criminal charges against those that she thinks are spreading disinformation. It's endless with these people, just endless. That's the line of attack here. Meanwhile, here's Eric Trump on with Megyn Kelly, and this will be cut 17, making the point that the people engaged in this are egging on people who will stop at nothing. After all, they're taking out Hitler. Here's Eric Trump.
He's doing well. The guy's incredibly strong. I mean, you've known him forever, right? He's a warrior. I spoke to him immediately after it happened. I was one of the first people I knew, and he was in okay spirits. But honestly, I'm almost not, right. I'm sick and tired of seeing people try and take his lives. It's this second time in 5 weeks that this has been allowed to happen. Butler was an utter failure. You've done, I think, a better job, probably, Megyn, than anybody on reporting on that. It should never happened. What happened there is just it's a breakdown of government in the worst possible ways. And then obviously you see what happened yesterday, and yesterday was ultimately a success, right? They got the guy ahead of time. They found out where he was, and they saved somebody from utter catastrophe. But this has to stop. This has to stop. We can't allow people with AR-15s, with AK-47s within 300 yards of the president. It has to stop. We have to do a better job. There's only so many kind of, proverbial lives that you have before, guess what? You don't get so lucky. He got incredibly lucky, and Faith was definitely with him, 5 weeks ago, but it's only so many times you get lucky, and this isn't funny anymore. And I just want everybody to understand they are trying to kill him, Megyn. They are trying to kill him. And it's one of the things that drives me crazy when you see Kamala on the debate stage. This man's a threat to democracy. It's And there's only one person that they're going after, and they're going after him viciously. And they've gone after him in every single way. They've gone after him legally. They tried to impeach him. They tried to take him off the ballot in states. They tried to take him off the ballot in Colorado and Maine. They've gone after his family. They've gone after all of us thousands of times. You know, Megan, I'm probably the most subpoenaed person in the history of the country, and I've never done a damn thing wrong. They've done everything they could. They've weaponized.
Okay, Jim, we got the point there with Eric Trump. Absolutely. Now, a congressman at the Hill, Fulcher, his name is, Republican, says what I said yesterday. I didn't suggest it. I said it. I think Donald Trump needs to get private security. Here is the head, going all the way down to Florida, Jim. This will be the acting director, cut 14, Ronald, talking about the acting director, Ronald Rowe, claiming the security plan worked on Sunday. He's the expert. I'm not. And guess what? It didn't work. Here's what he said.
The agent, who was visually sweeping the area of the sixth screen, saw the subject armed with what he perceived to be a rifle and immediately discharged his firearm. The subject, who did not have line of sight to the former president, fled the scene. He did not fire or get off any shots at our agent. With reports of gunfire, the former president's close protection detail immediately evacuated the president to a safe location. The protective methodologies of the Secret Service were effective yesterday.
No, they weren't. No, they weren't. Everybody knows this. And the point of emphasis ought to be, you know how minuscule that it is, how easy it should be here to just scope the perimeter. 855-839-1210. You get on board. AT&T and Verizon Wireless, all you have to do is just push pound 1210. The bottom line here is that it's the other that we're going with here. This is what we've entered into. Hillary Clinton, shamefully yesterday, calling for criminal penalties against those spreading information she doesn't like. And you heard the comments on Trump. So what are you supposed to do here? Get private security. They're not going to push this to the level. You know what they're doing today? Apparently you have all these people coming to the UN, and they say they're going to be busy protecting all these dignitaries and the like. We're overwhelmed. You know what? America first here. And if you don't get protecting this guy's life, whether you love him or hate him, is the biggest, most important thing there now. It's not Biden, even though that's a chain of all that. The consequence of the worst happening here is shocking what will happen. These morons, I know some people convinced conspiracy here. Eric Trump said you have to entertain that idea. Yeah, that's okay. But I see more just the sheer incompetency and arrogance that they're allowed to run amok, that this maniac goes across major highways there, not visible to anybody, and he's there 12 hours. They have his cell phone, 2 a.m. until when he shot or was getting ready to shoot. How in the world isn't there? Well, we did the sweep as we're coming up on the next screen. Are you serious? Then the argument, well, maybe Trump shouldn't play golf. Now, I'm a big golfer. Telling someone not to play golf, go to hell. Who are these people? Well, you know how hard it is to protect a golf course. No, buddy. They didn't do their job there. They didn't call on local law enforcement just to have a few cops on the perimeter. Well, that's the protection we give to the President of the United States. Isn't that what this comes back to? They're dug in on this. They're the Secret Service, and you're not going to tell them anything. Congress has to drag them in. They're slow walking the first shooting. What's happening with the first shooting? When's it report? 60 days. This is America. No 60 days. That's not a law. It's not a statute. It's a made-up thing. All right. Phone lines are 855-839-1210. AT&T and Verizon Wireless. All you have to do is push pound 1210. All right. That's one thing. Today, the side question, I think, is a great one. Nick Foles last night, we were kidding with Dawn. Yes, I watched some of his news conference. It was good stuff, exactly the type of stuff that you think you would see. And he did talk about throwing the ball 60 yards, I think, to Doug Peterson. made him throw it in the wind, which was interesting. Nick Foles is a folk hero, a bigger-than-life sort of figure. We're looking today for a folk hero. I have the all-timer that would win. I'm not going to say it yet. It could be real or fictional. I have a real one. The fictional one would win. I know I would vote for it. Is an all-time legendary folk hero. A folk hero, fictional, would be somebody like John Henry, Paul Bunyan. All right? Real life, still the name today, Frank Rizzo. Even today, when we play those cuts, people go nuts. Where's a Frank Rizzo when you need one? That's a folk hero. Henry, who's your folk hero?
Well, among real folk heroes,
yes.
Being a big baseball fan, his day was actually just 2 days ago, so I figured why not Roberto Clemente?
Okay, sure.
Larger than life talent, even better guy than baseball player, which is really saying something considering how good he was. Died, delivering aid to his native Puerto Rico. I think, a story like that kind of lives in people's minds, and to him have his own day for it, yeah, I think that's a pretty good folk hero.
All right, so we're looking for that folk hero, real or fictional.
Get it all. Don't miss any of it.
I have the fictional one that I think, without a doubt, I would probably vote for, unless you overwhelm me with something else that's out there. But let me go to John in Huntington Valley. Hello, John. Good morning.
Hey, Don. How have you been?
Okay, John.
Yeah, Don, for all the time I've been listening to you now, and it's been years and years and years, and I appreciate you letting me on. But I don't know, Dom, since the last couple of years, your intellectual honesty,
John, let me just stop you right there. I want to remain confirmed. You got to stop it, John. Let's stop that stuff and tell me exactly what I've said here. Do you think Trump should be treated as Hitler? Isn't that what this comes down to?
Yeah, I do, because you're doing the what about. It's a good Roy Cohn strategy. Yes, he's been racist his entire time. He incites it.
He's Hitler. He's Hitler.
He's using the same pathway.
He's Hitler.
Should
we stop doing this, John? You can oppose him. You can actually say you don't like his policies or his rhetoric on race. You can do that. I don't like the Democrats on that. I'm not calling them Hitler.
I forget the adjective Hitler. Just look what he's doing, though. Seriously, he's inciting the MAGA base, which is much more volatile than the Democratic base.
It is. Well, what do you think? What do you think this guy was that was going to take a shot at him?
I'll be honest with you. I think Butler and this were staged, and I'll tell you why. In Butler, he had the photographer, the secret Service guys placed as photographers. You can hear him go, wait, before he.
Oh my God,
up.
John! With all due respect, you got to examine yourself. You're better than that. Stage here. You know what it would be? These conspiracies to do something like that. What it would take? Come on.
I wouldn't put it past it, Tom. I really wouldn't.
All right, thank you, John. I took the call. That's as far as I can go. I like John a lot over the years, but. Now, let's talk specifics here. He's not Hitler. He wasn't Hitler in the first term. He's not going to be Hitler in the second. It's not going to be the end of democracy. All right? You can say you think he's racist. You can say it's a basket of deplorables. That's all within boundary. You can do that. But there's a line here that's crossed continuously. And if you want to call him out for how far he goes with his rhetoric, fine. That's a reason to defeat him. You don't want that type of America. But let's stop dancing around. That's not what they're saying. They're saying it's the end of our system, Benito Mussolini, fascist, and or Hitler. End of the system. That's the thing. That's what they're doing here. Well, of course, then, somebody like this maniac is doing the world a service. Would you have shot at Hitler? It's one of those things. That's where we're going to go constantly. He camped out for 12 hours. Now Fox reporting this morning brought snacks with him. I'm sure we'll know what the snacks are yet. Yet this guy heading up the Secret Service, our methodologies worked. That's not the issue here. Do you need more people? Can we just say something? Yes, we need more people. Okay, we talked about yesterday. Leslie brought it up. We're not paying these people enough either. I realize they do it to put their life on the line for the country and all that. But some of them are only $65 a year. The budget is billions and billions of dollars. Oh, my God, the dignitaries tonight from the United Nations. Really? Don't you get the importance of this? I'll say it. Protecting Trump's life is more important than protecting even the president at this point. Whatever side you're on, don't you recognize that? No, they don't. They don't care because some of them are wishing for it. And then what America would be like at that point, they'll blame on Trump. Rather than, look, we got to protect this guy's life at all costs here. That's what we have to do. Beat him at the ballot box, et cetera, et cetera. You got to protect his life. What does it take to do that? What do you need? Just say it. We're not saying stuff. We don't want to do that. We want to just continue to play this game out. Trump's got to decide. I think his life is at risk here with these people. They're screw-ups and/or don't have enough resources and/or they don't care that much. So get private security. Oh, my God. Can you imagine the conflict with that? Oh, is this America? These are stormtroopers. I'm talking people on the perimeter. It's such an this is one of the worst failures imaginable here. All right, phone lines are 855-839-1210. Hit us with that all-time folk hero in honor of the great Nick Foles. We got that going on. Sean Parnell will be here. He was at Butler, right there behind President Trump when the shooting started. And we're going to go back to Charleroi, that town in Pennsylvania. I saw an interview, people right there in the town. How many kids in the kindergarten? They said about 55 to 60. How many of them don't speak English and are Haitian refugees kids? 45. Can you imagine that mess in a kindergarten in the middle of rural Pennsylvania? Hey, Taylor Swift, Johnny Legend, why don't you do that in the Beverly Hills schools? You know why you don't do it. Can you imagine what would happen? Do it in the Doylestown school districts. All right, 855-839-1210. You get on board.
Kale and Company weekday mornings 6 till 10.
I don't know if you guys agree with this, but if I'm Trump, I'm no longer taking phone calls from Joe Biden or Kamala Harris. My iPhone rings. You see the little accept or decline button? Decline. I did the photo op with you on 9/11 after the stage debate on ABC. Kamala will be right back on the wagon today, I'm sure, and you're going to hear the same old rhetoric. Not about her opportunity economy and the specifics of what that entails, but just the general entry-level stupid verbiage.
Start your day with Kale and Company. Weekday mornings 6 till 10 on Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and the free Odyssey app.
This is Larry Steinitz with Investor Schooling. You may know me from my book, Money Hacks. You may know me from my radio shows. And you may even know me from some of these commercials. But listen, I'm teaching stuff that people need to learn about money. In fact, my favorite topic is money. So go to investorschooling.com and you will learn things about money that you never even knew existed. We will teach you things about real estate, about the stock market, and about how to use your IRAs properly. Go to investorschooling.com and sign up for a complimentary class this Thursday night at 7 o'clock. That's investorschooling.com. This is Larry Steinitz with Investor Schooling. Are you tired of hearing about the recession that's coming? Are you prepared for it? Well, listen, at investorschooling.com, we're going to teach you ways to prepare for the recession that you didn't even know existed. We're going to teach you strategies on how to use real estate. We're going to teach you strategies how to use the stock market properly. That's right, you could even make money in the stock market when the stock market goes down. Hey, go to investorschooling.com and register for a free class this Thursday night, and you will learn all of these techniques. Go to investorschooling.com right now, RSVP for this Thursday. We'll see you there.
Crash Proof Retirement is recording all financial meetings, providing a legally binding guarantee between Crash Proof Retirement and our investing consumers.
Joe Greco, Hatboro, Pennsylvania. Crash Proof Retirement records each meeting. I would feel very uncomfortable sitting with another financial advisor who doesn't do that. Crash Proof Retirement can guarantee you're getting the information that is best for you, not for them.
Susan Eckhart, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Crash Proof Retirement sets themselves apart because they record their meetings with clients. It proves that they're true fiduciaries. It validates the relationship between the client and the educator.
Randy Mogul, Fountainville, Pennsylvania. The honesty factor is there. The fiduciary factor is there. It's legally binding. They are on the forefront of the way the industry should be.
Schedule an appointment or register for our next event at Spring Hill Country Club on October 16th, 800-722-9728 or crashproofretirement.com.
Make your home renovation dreams come true with Emmons Remodeling.
We handle everything from concept to completion, delivering beautiful, functional spaces for you and your family to enjoy.
Our seasoned designers and construction experts ensure your project is completed on time and on budget.
Give us a call today at 856-885-6677 or visit callemmons.com.
From top to bottom,
To inside and out.
at Emmons, we have you covered.
Chronic pain, cancer, fatigue. Find out about the benefits of medical hydration therapy on Health Watch with Dr. Molly Fantasia every Sunday morning at 8 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Jim Cipriotti at Retire Ready Financial Group doesn't need Google to know you're worried about retirement. Between inflation, rising taxes, and the uncertainty about Social Security, he understands. That's why he offers a complimentary retirement second opinion. It's a no-obligation meeting for you to talk about your concerns about retirement. You want to know if you're going to be okay? Let's find out. 610-894-7415 or go online, retirereadyfg.com.
Insurance and annuities offered through James V. Cipriotti, NPN number 2083768.
The milkshake that blew out Mom's blender. The short ribs that converted a vegetarian. Life's most enduring moments deserve to be set in stone. And at Colonial Marble and Granite, a timeless granite countertop can now be yours for as little as $1,999. Let the memories begin. Some restrictions apply. See colonialmarble.net for details. Colonial Marble and Granite, the cornerstone of a beautiful home.
You're not going to want to miss this. You're not going to want to miss this. Listen to Kale and Company Thursday morning at 8:30 for a special announcement from Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
All right, it is Dom time. One added note on the Secret Service and what happened here. New York Post has been brilliant in covering this, and they have a whole series today. The Secret Service has known for years about this golf course and shrubbery because the paparazzi hang out there to get shots of various people playing golf, but principally President Trump, okay? So it shouldn't be any surprise. And they're making it like, my God, do you know what it's like to cover a golf course? You have somebody walk up and down before 12 hours, this maniac's there, looking in the shrubbery, infrared, drones. People want to know where the drones are again. What does the Secret Service have against drones? Oh, that wouldn't look good. We're the Secret Service. We don't rely on stuff like that. They are out of control at the top, this group. They are just going to do what they want, and it's not protecting someone that in unity, the country's got to say, look, you got to protect this guy to the end of the election. This is ridiculous. The result is just beyond belief. Is that what they want? Do they want the result to defeat him? Do they want the result to say, see, we told you, look at these people, look at what they're doing? Deep down, some of them do. Come on, face it. My goodness. Again, I can't believe that we have these agencies, FBI, Homeland Security, but FBI is a perfect example, that are out of control, that Congress has to start holding them in contempt. The FBI director, the Secret Service, etc. They have to be brought in and say, just a simple question for an hour. Don't get off it. Why were there no people on the perimeter checking that out? Simple. Don't move off anything else. The guy starts talking about something else. Stop it. Answer that. Starts talking about something more. We're going to continue doing this. Who's going to get tired first? And if he refuses to answer, say, we're going to take a vote. You're not answering. You're going to be held in contempt here, whatever the procedure is. Start with one question. Agree on it. Why no people out there on the perimeter? Let's see what he comes up with, and then have a response to that. Well, we're stretched thin. Well, what about local law enforcement? Well, that's protection of the president. Now we're at the heart of this. There's stupid protocols. Is that what this comes down to? But they're all, my God, we got to protect these dignitaries at the UN. Amazing. All right, 855-839-1210. Now, coming up, we're going to go back to Charleroi, Pennsylvania. We had on the city councilman there. Since we talked, I guess, on Friday, they have been all over the news, including the media, just sending busloads of people there to try to say, you know what, they're making it up. Haitians are revitalizing that town. Why don't we just import 10 million Haitians? America would be the golden age. That's what the media is telling people. Out of the kindergarten classroom there, apparently 45 are Haitian and speak no English. You mean to say a limited budget school district is going to be able to deal with all this stuff? That's a good thing for that town to put up with. All right, phone lines are 855-839-1210. We'll come to you on the side question, too. Folk Hero today in honor of Nick Foles, Talk Radio 1210.
Warning, the following ZipRecruiter radio spot you are about to hear is going to be filled with F words.
When you're hiring, we at ZipRecruiter know you can feel frustrated, forlorn even, like your efforts are futile, and you can spend a fortune trying to find fabulous people, only to get flooded with candidates who are just fine. Fortunately, ZipRecruiter figured out how to fix all of that. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, you can forget your frustrations because we find the right people for your roles fast, which is our absolute favorite F word. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day.
Fantastic.
So, whether you need to hire 4, 40, or 400 people, get ready to meet first-rate talent. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. Don't forget, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. Finally, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Dan owed an unbelievable amount of money to the IRS.
I got behind on my taxes. It's a horrible feeling.
He was in denial.
And when I got those letters from the IRS, you wanted to act like they didn't exist.
Finally, Dan turned to Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
Optima got me a settlement with the IRS. These people are really people-friendly. It was every bit of a new lease on life for me.
The fast action and the great results made Dan's head spin.
I felt like I was in a dream, but it's real, and I have paperwork to prove it. They got the job done, and life is good.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation.
If you're worried about what's going to happen with the IRS, stop worrying. Make the call now.
Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Do you know your numbers? What numbers? Your heart health numbers, your blood pressure, your cholesterol, your blood sugar, and your body mass index. They're important, so ask your doctor. Learn your numbers, and if something doesn't seem right with them, see a Deborah specialist at one of our offices throughout South Jersey. After all, when it's your heart, you don't take chances. Find a specialist near you at demanddeborah.org.
40 days up to 40 pounds. Say it with me. 40 days up to 40 pounds. Shed that summer vacation weight by reaching out to NJ Diet. You will lose a contractually guaranteed 20 to 40 plus pounds in only 40 days and without any shots. NJ Diet is all natural. They use your hair, saliva, and blood work, along with bioenergetic scans to personalize natural solutions and supplements that get your body into the fat-burning zone so you can finally lose that weight. Then, NJ Diet uses DNA info to help you keep it off. Best of all, it's contractually guaranteed. You're fully supervised the entire time to make sure you are burning fat and not just losing water. You even get the doctor's personal email and phone number. Locations in Newark, Delaware, King of Prussia, and Cherry Hill, or available worldwide with live online video consultations. Call 855-5NJ-DIET or schedule your consultation today by going to njdiet.com. That's njdiet.com. 40 days up to 40 pounds. 40 days up to 40 pounds.
Weather sponsored by the Piazza Auto Group.
Humid conditions return as tropical moisture works its way into the Delaware Valley. Today, partly to mostly cloudy and warm with a high of around 80. For tonight, clouds continue, some showers possible overnight with a low 66. And for Wednesday, mostly cloudy with some showers around, high 78.
Looking for exceptional offers on a new Hyundai? Visit Piazza Hyundai of Pottstown or Westchester to get 1.99% financing for 60 months on the 2024 Tucson, Tucson Hybrid, and Elantra. Shop online at piazzahyundai.com today.
Broadcasting live from the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and on the free Odyssey app.
All right, it is Dom time. We welcome back to the show in a moment the mayor of Charleroi, and Councilman Larry Selesky, who helped to give us insight on Friday. But I'm looking on this website we use in Talk Radio 1210, Gradient, of sound and all that, and it's a visual. They went there and they filmed this operation where Haitians are being bused to and from food factories operated by 4th Street Foods. There seems to be a disconnect in that some of these businesses want this because it helps them, but maybe people in the town, the school district, and all that stuff do not. All right, let's bring back the mayor and Councilman Larry Selesky. Larry, welcome, and Mayor Greg, thank you guys for joining us. Larry, our paper here, the Philadelphia media, New York media, and all, they're coming to your town, and what they're trying to do is say, you're making it up. You know, this is ridiculous. Haitians are revitalizing Springfield and your town. Larry, what's your response to that?
Well, I think right now the temperature is extremely high in our community, as probably it is at Springfield. Mm-hmm. You know, it's a hotbed, and there's a lot of division in town right now. As we talked to you before, you know, I tried to clarify a lot of points. Of one, with the immigration influx, you know, we don't want to talk all negative. We don't want to talk and, you know, bring, you know, everything to just give a black eye to the whole situation. You know, and I wanted to stay on point, stay in my lane to say that, yes, we've had an influx of immigration within our town of anywhere between 2,500 and 3,000 people. We've only got a population of 4,134, I believe, as per the last U.S. Census. We're only 0.9 miles long. We're not even a mile long as you drive through our town. So you can see, you know, it is rather a small town, and to have this influx come in, there is negatives and there's positives, no matter who you speak to. As far as what I really want to address is coming back to, look, the Harris-Biden administration, United States Senator Bob Casey, back to Governor Wolf, current Governor Shapiro, state of Pennsylvania, we received no help from you. We received no heads up from any of them. Okay, all of a sudden, boom, Shawley becomes a town full of immigrants, and the national media and the spotlight is on us. But where is the funding? Where is the help? Where's the leadership to come in to bring team efforts into this, to educate? You know, our town went from the English language when you walked into the Dollar General to now the English language is pretty much evaporated, and it's of another language, the Creole language.
Yeah, well Larry, you made that point well the other day. We emphasized that, at least I did. I'm writing about it. You spoke of the upside of this. You didn't throw stuff at everybody that's there. But you're right. Why do it in this manner, and why do it in these numbers? Now, Mayor, to that point, Mayor Greg, I saw an interview with some people in your town. They said the current kindergarten class might be 60 kids. 45, though, are Haitian children who don't speak English. I'm a former teacher. To me, that would be overwhelming, just all of a sudden.
Oh, yes, it is. I know teachers in that school, and I've had conversations with them, and they say it's very tough to deal with. To do their job, it's really a hard thing.
Yeah. Larry, so President Trump has talked about this. Now you're having national media all over the place. What would you say you need next now? What has to happen in order to make some sense of this, go back to some normality with these numbers? I know you said resources, but you're right. There should be leadership, the governor and others, that people have to obey traffic laws. How are people able to drive if they don't know the traffic laws?
Well, as I don't know whether I brought this up on your show or not, and I don't want to repeat myself, but at our last council meeting, I put on the agenda that we need to do something to eliminate the liability of the driving habits from the immigrants. We need to maybe get dual signage in 2 different languages, English and Creole, that would help reduce the exposure from any automobile accidents. But that costs money, and the mayor knows a little bit more about that because that's coming out of our borough budget. So where's the federal and state funding that could help us for that? What's not here? But the mayor knows how expensive those signs are, and he kind of opened up my eyes to it. So
yeah, how though, Mayor or Larry? Let's start, Mayor. How are these people able to drive, though? Is my question. Are they driving legally?
From what I'm getting, some do have driver's licenses and some don't.
Okay.
The police, do their job. They see them do something wrong, they pull them over. If they do not have the legal documentation, the license, the registration, insurance, whatever, they do impound their cars, so they do get what they need. As far as the signs goes, like Larry was talking, I retired from this town. I worked on the road crew for 25 years. I put up signs for 25 years. Those signs are really expensive. Now, if you're going to go put up dual signs, I can't imagine what those are going to cost.
Wow. Yeah, look, I think it shows, Larry, that you are a problem solver. I know you don't want to do that. You're a town out there. Suddenly, you got to put up Creole street signs. It's not in the book of being a councilman, but you're willing to do it. There's no doubt that I hear from all these towns we've been talking about, reckless driving, difficulty with driving, insurance going up, rentals going up. What is this deal? I don't know if you guys saw it. You're on with me, so maybe you didn't. A website has footage showing Haitians being bused to and from food factories operated by 4th Street Foods. I don't know why that's out there nationally. What's the issue with that?
Well, there are agencies, I guess, that own these van companies that do provide the transportation for the Haitian or it could be Liberian communities or any of the immigrants. And there's a handful of businesses that do employ the Haitian or the immigrants. Within our community, our 15022 Charlevoix area school district circumference, and so they do. I mean, there's vans all the time, to your right, to the left, and that has kind of curbed itself to where the close calls or the accidents with the vans, because I do know one of the owners of the company, he really puts his foot down pretty hard on the van drivers, not obeying traffic signs, speeding, whatever it may be. If there's complaints that come in, they get beat down pretty good. Now we heard, according to the, we're going through possible another plant closing here in town, but according to the local union within that plant, where this plant is supposed to be transferred to in Ohio, they are supposedly busing in immigrant workers to that factory.
Okay.
In Lancaster, Ohio.
Okay. Well, Larry, thank you so much. You've been really, really good, and I think very balanced. You too, Mayor. And again, would you keep us in the loop with Dan, my producer, with other developments? And hopefully you're going to see better days there. I think you guys are very well-intentioned. I hope we don't come to dual traffic signs, but I get the difficulty, Larry. So thank you guys very much for coming on today.
Don, would you mind if I added one more thing before
Sure, Larry.
you hung up?
Yeah, go ahead.
This Friday at 10:30, you know about the plant closing, the Corral Ware Anchor Hocking plant. There is going to be a national press conference at 10:30, so we're going to have pretty much all of the national media there, as well as the Pittsburgh market and any of the other news sources like yourself, to be made aware that there's going to be. We're reaching out to anybody who is willing to help keep these jobs, and there is one person that's reached out to help keep these jobs, and he's coming to our town to address this. And he is he's a candidate for Pennsylvania's United States Senate. That's Dave McCormick. He's been gracious enough to come in here and help us, reach out his hand, and do whatever he can to help and bring national media attention to this.
That is tremendous. Henry, would you get him on tomorrow, McCormick? How about Bob Casey Jr.? Is he coming?
If you can tell me where Bob Casey is at, I would really, and the mayor, we would really appreciate it. I know he's not in Washington, D.C. for a fact. He's in the state of Pennsylvania. So please, if you can send him to the borough of Charleroi, the mayor and myself would certainly like to talk to him face-to-face and not to one of his aides.
Did you make the Trump campaign aware of this?
Yes, we've got constant communication with the Trump campaign.
Good. Let's hope he shows up, too. That would be a help. But nice work. McCormick is a jobs creator. We'll get him on to promote that more. And, Larry, thank you. And, Mayor, thank you, too.
Thank you, Don.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, Henry would just write a note there, too, so we'll cover that on Friday. And let's get McCormick on to talk about that. And no Bob Casey, though, yet. That's interesting. All right, we got the side question going on. David Muir was just on Mark and Kelly. What penetrating questions today. Telling the world the debate moderator criticism is just noise. Let me look at my notes from Mark and Kelly, or is it Kelly and Mark? Oh, wait a minute. There. Oh, is it in there? Did they ask him about the fact-checking? I'll give you the answer to that coming up here. It was in-depth, just penetrating with David Muir. Hey, buddy, you're wearing jeans on that show. I get it. That doesn't make your answers any better. All right, 855-839-1210. Get in on the side question with Dom here on Talk Radio 1210.
Kale & Company, weekday mornings, 6 till 10.
I don't know if you guys agree with this, but if I'm Trump, I'm no longer taking phone calls from Joe Biden or Kamala Harris. My iPhone rings. You see the little accept or decline button? Decline. I did the photo op with you on 9/11 after the stage debate on ABC. Kamala will be right back on the wagon today, I'm sure, and you're going to hear the same old rhetoric. Not about her opportunity economy and the specifics of what that entails, but just the general entry-level stupid verbiage.
Start your day with Kale & Company, weekday mornings, 6 till 10 on Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and the free Odyssey app.
The following is a paid commercial announcement.
Just 2 years ago, Bob Casey told us his vote for $1 trillion spending spree would miraculously reduce inflation. Casey promised his vote
will reduce inflation.
Have you been to a grocery store lately? Did Casey reduce anything except his credibility? In fact, it was Bob Casey's vote for reckless spending that caused this inflation in the first place. Prices went up, and now you're paying more for almost everything. Casey admits he failed. Prices have skyrocketed. Just listen to Casey.
You have boneless chicken going up 38%, and paper products like toilet paper going up 35%.
Groceries cost more. Rent and housing cost more. Pennsylvania families are struggling. Casey promised to fix this mess. Instead, he made it worse. Bob Casey failed. We need a change to get back on track. It's time to change Washington. It's time to fire Bob Casey. Senate Leadership Fund paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. SenateLeadershipFund.org.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-727-9105. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-727-9105. 800-727-9105. 800-727-9105.
Be sure to follow Talk Radio 1210 WPHT on the free Odyssey app. Download it now.
All right, so these towns, the upside of all this, Springfield, Aurora, they are, in their own way, finally bringing illegal immigration, the damage, and they're underlying the point, even though the media, which are part of the very same thing, don't want to acknowledge how these elitists are telling people for our, quote, good intentions, we are going to make you suffer. We don't care. And you're a racist if you don't lump it. You can't do anything about it. You have to deal with this. We love it. We don't have to deal with it, but we can tout each other. Oh, have you seen this? How wonderful it is. 300,000 now people brought into the country under executive order that are Haitian. 855-839-1210. You get a line, so they'll be doing a big national event. By the way, when I take a look at our Secret Service, the issues obviously we have with this, I take a look at Israeli ingenuity. Great story today. Hezbollah, terrorist group attacking Israel around the clock, it seems, if you're there in Israel, from Lebanon, had a little bit of a setback today because even though I haven't seen it confirmed, the best guess is that Israeli forces, Mossad or whomever, anti-terrorism forces, hacked into their system of beepers that they were using, the terrorists, and suddenly the terrorists with their beepers were being blown up. We don't know how many. It appears to be a huge number were literally blown up. Some just wounded, some killed, I believe. Wow, that's impressive. Definitely impressive. And that appears to be the working theory at this point. Now, Israel had a big letdown on October 7th, of course. There's talk today they may fire their defense minister around that. We'll see. But I got to say, when you compare this ingenuity to the type of stuff we're dealing with here, that's pretty impressive. I don't know that we would do. Oh, we can't be doing that. Why not? We're dealing with terrorists here. Well, they might be around other people. Yes, I get that. This is what they always do. All right, side question. Hit us in the honor of the great Nick Foles with that all-time folk hero. Could be real, could be fictional. I have one that's a winner. I'll wait another 45 minutes or so, then I may give it away. It would be a winner to me, but there are any number of good ones. Doug in Phoenixville, Talk Radio 1210. Hello, Doug. Good afternoon.
Hey, Dom. Thanks for having me on your show.
You're welcome.
Love it. I just want to bring this famous politician up, and I wish he was still alive because he'd be taking names and kicking butt on some of these people like Hillary Clinton. But most famous line in Congress is, "Gentlemen, you can go to hell, and I will go to Texas." Davy Crockett.
Picture Davy Crockett brought back today in Congress. Yeah, Davy Crockett. I love that line too. Next to Gerald Nadler or AOC, Davy Crockett standing there. Now, see, that's a call that really blends into what we're talking about. All right, coming up, we are going to talk with the great Captain Sean Parnell, now in charge of the mail-in ballot operation. I will tell you this, Cliff Maloney, who is a colleague of Scott Presler, has on his Twitter today that versus 2020 at this time, mail-in ballot requests for Democrats are down about 303,000. Now, remember, we only lost by 80,000 the last time. So we'll get an update for you on that. But Sean Parnell was also behind President Trump when Trump was shot in the ear in Butler. Wanted to get his sense. He's inside all this stuff, particularly of the Secret Service. And several prominent Republicans today say, no. You can't have the FBI and these others investigated. They're part of the problem. Also, P. Diddy arrested, and Homeland Security, the spokesperson, saying, well, we're not going to say anything about, is this like Epstein, as far as the safety of P. Diddy while in prison, given who he may implicate. I had never heard that he really was going to implicate anybody of power or whatever around this. just at how bad of a guy he was and what he was involved in, which I think you're going to see play out. But already the Epstein question is out there. All right, phone lines are 855-839-1210. That's how you get in. Batteries plus bulbs. It's been an honor to know Roy, 2 stores he runs in Mount Laurel and Northfield, and to see our listeners finally find an oasis in these stores for help, customer service, not just batteries plus bulbs, but technical help, be it phones or anything else, the whole litany, businesses going to him. But the only issue is he gets overwhelmed. He needs some more people. Yeah, Roy would like a handy do-it-yourselfer would be ideal, great low-pressure, part-time job. As I said, customer service is the key. If you're willing to do what it takes to help, then you need to talk to Roy. Be part of the team. And he always says they power it, they light it, and they fix things. They get them fixed for you. Give them a call with whatever your needs are, or if you're someone that would like to apply, just call Roy, 856-638-0778. Batteries plus bulbs, Mount Laurel and Northfield, 856-638-0778.
This school year, make the most of it for your child or grandchild and make the call to Kathy Ganna and New Hope Academy in Yardley and Doylestown at 800-300-0003. Give your student all the tools they need for a great school year. Let New Hope Academy transform your child's life forever by helping them now. For over 3 decades, New Hope Academy founder Kathy Ganna, a pioneering educator and entrepreneur who created the NHA model, has been utilizing state-of-the-art solutions to uncover ways where your child could avoid struggling and succeed. At New Hope Academy, there's a student-teacher ratio of 2-to-1, allowing students to deal with many disorders, including high anxiety, social and emotional, and including bipolar. Do not wait. Help your students start strong. Remember, only the best teachers can work at NHA. Call for a no-obligation tour and consultation. 90% of NHA graduates pursue a college education. Call Kathy today at 800-300-0003. Online, newhopeacademy.net. Call New Hope Academy today.
Our friend Judith Krupnik of Cherry Hill Volvo is the ZOA's Pillar of the Community Award recipient. A leading businesswoman and philanthropist, she's incredibly deserving of this honor. Congratulations! The ZOA's Night of Appreciation is Wednesday. Learn more at philly.zoa.org. This Saturday morning at 10, tune into a special edition of Your Radio Doctor with Dr. Marianne Ritchie and find out about alcohol use disorder, plus all the latest news and information about your health and wellness. Don't miss Your Radio Doctor Saturday morning at 10.
Are you worried about the state of the economy? Concerned about market crashes and rising inflation wiping out your savings? At Noble Gold Investments, we understand your fears and have a solution. Call us today at 1-888-403-1050. Imagine safeguarding you and your family with a tangible asset that has stood the test of time. Gold. With Noble Gold Investments, you can diversify your portfolio and protect your wealth from economic turmoil. Our team will guide you through the process, ensuring you make informed decisions that best suit your needs. Call Noble Gold Investments today at 1-888-403-1050. That's 1-888-403-1050. The future is uncertain. Take control now. Call 1-888-403-1050.
Past performance may not be indicative of future results. Investing in precious metals, including gold, involves risks. Consult with your tax attorney or financial professional before making an investment decision.
What's on the menu for football season? Pork, of course. Get ready for game day with Hatfield and put some pork on your fork. Elevate your kickoff cuisine and halftime feast with Hatfield's winning lineup of marinated pork tenderloins, pork loin fillets, ground pork and sausage, bacon and ham. Whether you're the tailgate king or gridiron gourmet, Hatfield helps you savor the taste of victory. Visit simplyhatfield.com for play-by-play menu inspiration. Find your flavor with Hatfield.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you. Discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at Hims, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/joy and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
Philadelphia's Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3, Philadelphia. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app. It's Dom time. Now, Dom Giordano.
All right, it is Dom time. Welcome in one of our favorite guests, Captain Sean Parnell, who was behind President Trump when Trump was shot in Butler, something still unresolved. Thought he might have some insight, some sense of Secret Service, the whole type of thing that went on or should go on. Also, he is the point person, one of the biggest in Pennsylvania for mail-in ballots. And I told you, Cliff Maloney, who is a group chasing the ballot, says Democrat totals are about 300,000 down from this time in 2020, which is surprising, and Republicans are well up. Now, nothing is certitude. You still have to return to vote, but we want to get into that, too. That's good news. Let's go to Sean Parnell on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Sean, welcome back in, and thanks for joining us.
Hey, Dom, thanks for having me.
Have you had a chance to speak with President Trump post this second assassination attempt?
No, I haven't. But I hear from very close sources to him that he's in very good spirits and was pretty frustrated that he wasn't able to finish his round of golf.
Yeah,
he said he was looking forward to getting a birdie on the next hole or something. The guy's indomitable.
Yeah, and now suddenly the Secret Service putting out the word, well, you really shouldn't be golfing. We've come to that for this organization. Now, you've led people into battle. You've been in battle yourself. You've been around efficient people and organizations. The Butler thing, slow walked at this point. We still don't have anything down in print, definitive answers. What are you hearing about Butler, Sean?
Well, that's nothing. And that's the whole point, right? Here we are 2 months now, almost 2 months to the day, a second attempt on Trump's life. And what I can't figure out about this one was that, first of all, this was supposed to be an off-the-record movement, which means this is nothing scheduled. The Butler rally, that was scheduled. 10 days prior, it was out there. Well, the golf trip was a spur-of-the-moment trip. So my question is how did this would-be assassin, and I don't want to say his name, how did this would-be assassin know to be on that hole that would intersect with Trump on the course? Trump International is a big course. How did he know what 9 he was going to be on? Off-the-record travel, I mean, there's probably 10 people on the president's inner circle that know that information. Yet somehow that guy was there. And the reason why this ties to your original question about what am I hearing about Butler, and of course the answer to that question is nothing, that concerns me. That here we are, 2 months later. Corey Compertor is dead. We had two other Pennsylvanians seriously wounded. President Trump almost had his brains blown out on national television in front of the world, and we know nothing about it, Dom. 48 hours after Ronald Reagan was shot, the world knew everything there was to know about Hinckley. Everything. In an era where there was far less information at our fingertips. Now we know, the fact that we know nothing about that is very concerning. And it doesn't give me a warm and fuzzy that we'll get a whole lot of information about this outside of this DeSantis saying there's going to be an independent investigation in Florida at the state level. This is all really concerning, and I guess it leads me to say is it might happen again. Who knows? I mean, it's so crazy that we live in this world, and I hope it doesn't happen, but it might.
Well, and Sean, you're a guy who's commanded people again, the perimeter. You got to protect that. The simple thing, this guy was in there 12 hours. He's carrying stuff in. He brought food, etc. If you're really trying to, I think the problem is institutional. They want to do it the way they want to do it, and somebody's got to rein this in because they're going on protocol that says he's not the president so we're not going to put people on the perimeter. That's how crazy this is.
When I saw that press conference yesterday, I think of the West Palm Beach sheriff, who's a good man. He said, well, he's not at the full presidential protection level. I about lost my mind. I'm thinking, what do you have to do to get at the full presidential level, my friend? The guy almost died 60 days before. He's the leading candidate for president. He's the Republican nominee. Like, at what point? He's probably the most threatened man in the world.
Absolutely, because he's a former president on top of it.
Yes. So what's it going to take to get the guy at the full presidential level? And I guess, you have all of these unanswered questions. I mean, you mentioned a great point. The guy, the would-be assassin, was in position for 12 hours,
Yes.
Dom.
Yeah.
How does that happen?
Yeah.
How does that happen? And so he was in place for 12 hours, but the secret, how did he know to be there? If it was a last-minute decision, on the golf course, I mean, those two things don't jive. But the only thing I do know is that he knew exactly where to be, and it just makes me feel like there's a leak somewhere at the highest levels of the Secret Service. What other explanation is there outside of it just being complete blind and dumb luck that he would stumble upon exactly where Trump was going to be at that exact moment of the day? I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy.
And that's the worst of all. It further erodes in this organization any hope. Now, let's turn to the other side of it, Sean. What Republicans are doing, mail-in balloting. Cliff Maloney, you may know of him, and we had Scott Presler on yesterday, says Democrat mail-in requests, at least as of this morning, were down 300,000 from the request in 2020. That alone is amazing to me.
Yeah, I mean, think about it like this. At this point in 2020, Republicans were being outpaced by Democrats by 725,000 ballot requests. As of today, they're only outpacing us by 477. Now, you might think, well, 477, holy smokes, that's a huge number. But we cut the Dems' advantage in the state by 247,137 ballots. The margin in 2020, and this is so important for people to understand, the margin in 2020 was 80,000 votes, and that was with it was a very, very problematic election. We won't get into that.
Right.
But that was with everything. The deck completely stacked in the Democrats' favor. Well, that's not the case anymore. And it was a razor-thin margin even back then. And the reason why this is important, Dom, is that the Democrats simply must have that floor of mail-in votes in order to be successful this election cycle. And they're not there yet. In fact, they're way behind the power curve. It doesn't mean that they can't make that number up. It doesn't mean that they can't pound the pavement and chase ballots or spend an enormous sum of money, which the Democrats are great at doing, and catch us. But the reality is that we're on pace to at least stay with them through the finish line, and I think that is going to pay off dividends on Election Day. And you mentioned Cliff Maloney and Scott Presler. Those two gentlemen are great American patriots, and now what we're doing here, with our effort, is we're pivoting to the chase phase, and we are going to be working hand in glove with Cliff Maloney and P.A. Chase and Scott Presler in a full court sprint to the finish. So this is good because Pennsylvania, the Keystone State, is the key. It's the key to the White House. It is the most important swing state in the country, and we can't afford to lose it. If we take Pennsylvania off the board, Dom, 96% chance that President Trump goes back to the White House.
I think it's even higher, but I think you're right. And Sean,
Agreed.
you are, with our listeners, an incredibly, with me too, credible source. We're hearing fewer, but I always like when I have you on, people saying, what about this? What about this? The post office, this type of thing. And we've been through all this, and I think Republicans just want a big victory. You have to have it dated. It has to be correct. I mean, I'm convinced our integrity people on the Trump side, we have one on regularly, Linda Kearns, are all over this. What can you say to talk about, getting people to do this, but having trust that their vote's going to count?
Yeah, well, I would say that Republicans at this point in the game are far better prepared than we were in 2020. And the Republican National Committee, man, they are armed politically to the teeth to check this stuff out. And here's the important thing, Dom. like, you've got to be proactive when it comes to protecting elections. What we learned in the wake of 2020, even though we had cases with merit, judges will look for reason to dismiss on standing because nobody wants to overturn an election or order a new one at the presidential level. So that means you got to catch this stuff in advance. And that means lawsuits. And, of course, you just mentioned a very important victory that we had. It means training poll watchers. It means being proactive. And we're doing that. And, you know, we don't have COVID to worry about with all of these emergency protocols in place. So we're in a much better place today than we were back then. And there really is something to the phrase too big to rig. So just show up in force and bring 10 people with you.
Absolutely. Where do people go? What website, Sean Parnell, mail-in balloting, or where would you tell them to go?
skiptheline.pa.com. Check it out. Bank your vote. If you bank your vote, you can still show up on Election Day and vote provisional, check your status of your ballot the whole way through. But if you do that, it allows us to spend our resources in a more surgical way.
Can you take us inside that a little bit, Sean, too? We tell that to people. I mean, I have an for people, meaning that trying to determine if this person is going to show up and vote, we can start to go for the outliers. There are people that love Trump, the policies and all that. They contribute. They go to the rallies. And then some of them don't show up and vote. It's mind-boggling.
Yeah. If you so imagine you've got 67 counties in the state of Pennsylvania, and I've got an Excel spreadsheet on every county. I got people with mail-in ballots that are banked. I don't have to spend money to get those people to turn out to vote because they already voted. I can use the resources to reach out to the people who didn't to make sure they show up at the polls on Election Day. You spend your money in a more efficient way. Again, it pays off dividends on Election Day. And so, just bank your vote. Bank your vote because it makes our job easier on Election Day.
Absolutely. Sean, thank you so much. Anytime. Keep us in the loop.
Okay, thanks, my friend. Talk to you soon, Dom.
Sean Parnell here on Talk Radio 1210. Side question today, Nick Foles in town. Henry, not that I was looking. I didn't bet on it. You did, though, but you may have known at that point when Saquon Barkley dropped that pass. I had just been in the kitchen, was coming back in. I wasn't sure because they don't update us on how many yards the running back has. And I'm thinking, oh, man, it's got to be close. Is that 18.5 or not? He already had it.
He did hit the 18.5. I was nervous there for a second. Yeah. I was nervous because he was sitting on 17. Right. If you remember earlier in the game, he fell just short of the goal line. And that would have put him over. That 18.5 mark, and I was like, oh, I'm never going to get this. But, he caught another pass, I think, on the very next drive.
Shocking. I don't understand. They're thinking at the end of the game here. You want to run down the clock.
Through the game.
Yeah, you want to run down the clock. A minute 36 is pretty good driving the team down the field. Shouldn't be able to do it that with no timeouts.
Well,
that easy.
What I get upset about with that, and I don't really hear this a lot by the national media or even the local media, is that with these new kickoff rules, a touchback, a regular touchback to the back of the end zone, you get it at the 30. You only have to go 70 yards in a minute 40, right? That seems pretty doable. So what do you got to do? You have to kick a line drive that lands in the landing zone, which is very, you see it on TV. It's illustrated.
Take 8 to 10 seconds or more off.
They put a box around it. Well, it's not even that. If they have to choose to return it, or if they let it go and be a touchback at that point when it hits the landing zone, they get it on the 20 instead of the 30.
Oh, okay.
So it's another 10 yards. And that's what I'm looking for in like a special teams thing. Like you need to have a clutch play right there. And these kickers, these special teams coordinators, they need to get on that more. And then whatever that final drive was on defense is just
it's
Fangio,
pretty
what
amazing.
are you doing, man?
On Nick Foles night. But we're honoring Nick Foles with the folk hero. Real or fictional is what we're looking for. All right, I have one in mind. Hasn't been said yet, but we'll take yours at 855-839-1210. You get on board. And again, this is ludicrous that Congress allows this to go on. They're in the 60-day mode. They have this Congressman Kelly in charge of the investigation of what happened in Butler. I'm a believer. You come out with the preliminary. Oh, no, we have to wait till we have every fact. First of all, you're not going to have every fact. In other words, you come out with a preliminary report days afterward or a week afterward, then you update it. That way, you start to draw out people who have to then answer for some of this stuff. You shake things loose. This nonsense of waiting 60 days. Realize 60 days after what happened, the action report in Florida, I don't know, it's post the election. It's ludicrous what they're getting away with, these slow walking this stuff. They don't want to know. There are obvious things here that happen, particularly in Florida, every bit as much as in Butler. All right, 855-839-1210. Vice President Harris is headed to, she's in or landing around now in Philadelphia, going to the National Black Journalist in downtown Philadelphia. Let's see the questions that she's asked and any follow-up. Will they follow up if she answers as she did on Action News the other day? Yeah, I was a middle-class kid, and people really love their lawns. I want to tell you about the lawns. Are they going to say, well, tell us about how you're going to get rid of baked-in inflation? What are you going to do about that? Phone lines, 855-839-1210. That's how you get in. You know, we're back to school. We're into September, headed toward the fall. And that's a perfect time for a fresh start. If you've been thinking about, summertime, I'm not doing any of those appointments. Well, how about your dentist? How about your prosthodontist? This is the best time, as soon as you think you're at risk of having complications with your teeth as you get older, to head off all that big trouble. And you know I do that every year. I do it constantly with Dr. Bentz, my dentist, my friend, and just somebody who has been a tremendous resource to send listeners to over the years. And if you've heard me talk about this, but you haven't done it yet, okay. It's that time of year when you're back away from summertime to make a commitment to do this, to ward off trouble. If you feel anything that doesn't feel, just get that initial evaluation. Get that consult. Dr. Ben says as you get into your 40s and 50s, assess what work you may need done down the line so you have a plan that you'll be part of with them. Remember, it's not just cosmetic. Taking care of your teeth has long-term health benefits, not just oral health, but overall health. It's all there with Dr. Bentz. It's very convenient, patient-friendly, beyond belief. Give him a call now to get that appointment, get that initial evaluation. 610-272-6949. 610-272-6949.
Kale and Company, weekday mornings, 6 till 10.
I don't know if you guys agree with this, but if I'm Trump, I'm no longer taking phone calls from Joe Biden or Kamala Harris. My iPhone rings. You see the little accept or decline button? Decline. I did the photo op with you on 9/11 after the stage debate on ABC. Kamala will be right back on the wagon today, I'm sure, and you're going to hear the same old rhetoric. Not about her opportunity economy and the specifics of what that entails, but just the general entry-level stupid verbiage.
Start your day with Kale and Company, weekday mornings 6 till 10 on Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and the free Odyssey app.
You're driving along when you realize...
Oh, I've got to get over. Oh my gosh, sorry!
You didn't see him, did you? He was in your blind spot. You can also have a blind spot when it comes to your retirement. That's where Joe Yakovich of JML Financial Group comes in. He knows about a little blind spot called taxes. Social Security, your pension, your investments, all can be taxable. Look, you don't want to end up saying...
Will I be writing huge checks to the government when I retire?
Don't get blindsided by taxes. Make sure your retirement plan has a tax plan. With one call to JML Financial Group, 856-925-6674. That's 856-925-6674. Or at jmlfinancialgroup.com. Securities and investment advisory services offered through Brokers International Financial Services, LLC, member SIPC. Brokers International Financial Services, LLC is not an affiliated company. JML Financial Group does not offer legal or tax advice. Please consult the appropriate professional regarding your individual circumstance.
Does he love me? What's he thinking? Is he cheating on me?
If love has you guessing, Spirit Now's trusted psychics have the answers. For over 15 years, we've helped thousands find their true path in love. Whether it's your current partner, an ex, or finding your soulmate, our gifted advisors offer clarity and guidance. We'll ease your worries and show you the way forward. With Spirit Now, you can find the comfort and joy you deserve. Wondering if true love is out there? Feeling lost? Our compassionate psychics are ready to listen and guide you. Discover what love has in store. Take advantage of our special offer today. Your first reading is just $1 a minute. Visit spiritnow.com or call 888-809-1444. That's 888-809-1444.
The guidance I got really changed everything for me.
Your first reading is just $1 a minute. Visit spiritnow.com or call 888-809-1444. Your true path in love starts with Spirit Now. Call 888-809-1444.
Honey, is our car still under warranty?
No, not anymore.
My sister just got an extended service plan from Ox Car Care.
Ox Car Care?
Yeah, Ox will cover our repair bills if anything happens to our car, new brakes, a transmission, AC, or engine problems. Plus, Ox Car Care offers free oil changes, tire rotation, and roadside assistance.
Wait a minute, we pay nothing on the repairs? Ox gets it fixed for us? Free oil changes, free tire rotation, and free roadside assistance? What's the number?
800-224-8517. Ox has a 30-day money-back guarantee and an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau. They handle their claims from start to finish, unlike other warranty companies. We should call now. 800-224-8517.
The last thing we need is an unexpected car repair bill. I'm calling Ox Car Care now.
Call Ox Car Care for your free quote. 800-224-8517. Ask about senior and military discounts. Don't get stuck with a major car repair bill. Call Ox Car Care, 800-224-8517, or go to oxcarcare.com.
You're not going to want to miss this. You're not going to want to miss this. Listen to Kale and Company Thursday morning at 8:30 for a special announcement from Talk Radio 1210, WPHT.
All right, Dom time. Good Tuesday, 855-839-1210. A couple of things. Mayorkas, head of Homeland Security, just gave a briefing saying that the Trump level of security is approximately the same as President Biden. Wow. That is, if that's the case, you mean to say for the President of the United States, or in this case, President Trump, the level of security is to let some maniac in the shrubbery for 12 hours aiming a gun at him as he golfs. That's what we're reduced to. We're supposed to believe that. I don't believe that. I mean, I don't have faith in them, the Secret Service at all, up and down the line. If it were my life, I'd be like, wow, we got to get private security here. How dare you not have faith in them? How could you have faith in them?
Approximately is the key word there.
Yeah, I understand that, but still.
You can get away with anything with that. Oh, approximately.
But I mean, if it's approximate secretary, I'd say means you have people on the perimeter. Having anybody on the perimeter for Trump would have spotted this guy. So it's not anywhere near approximate. Someone in the media ought to say, definition to your point, that's not anywhere near reasonable definition of approximate. Other sign, we haven't done it yet this year. We see the cookies right over in Bucks County. Trump versus Kamala Harris, overwhelming. Lawn signs. Yesterday, Scott Presser was on, and this town of Shoemakerville, he was headed to give out lawn signs because they're trying to restrict them because in these Pennsylvania, rural areas, that's where we see a lot of Trump lawn signs. So we have a lot of people that have become friends and email me and give me an update. They count them when they're working, their delivery, they're doing this, that, or the other. And they try to tell you. Now, we're always told they don't matter. I'm not saying they're scientific, but in 2016, they were a pretty good barometer in a lot of places. I don't see a whole lot in Philadelphia right now of lawn signs of one sort or another. The ones I do might be local. Maybe they're more of a suburban thing. I'd love to hear from you, though, in your area, if you've seen, lawn signs and you've counted them. What are you seeing? And final thing, this guy, I've never played anything by him. I just vaguely know of him, Jim. This is cut 18 we'll play. Larry Ellison. He is one of the biggest, Oracle, I guess. He is one of the biggest people in the tech world, the top 5 anyhow. So he's at an assembly, and I actually have sound, which is shocking. This guy goes off on how we're going to turn AI loose. The world's going to be a better place because police and citizens are going to be, at least in public, doing the right things because they're going to be under constant surveillance. I'll play you what he said. This guy's chilling. Bill Gates, meanwhile, thinks he has the answer to climate. He wants to dull the sun a bit. I hear that. I got somebody watching Bill Gates. This guy's not going to be fooling around with dulling the sun. This maniac is out of control.
Dulling the sun. Was
dulling the sun?
Big pair of Ray-Bans over the earth, or what?
The Ray-Ban project. No, I'm not sure what it is, but it's like the guys that want to experience with black holes and all that stuff. We're not going to allow them to do it in the name of science. Then, we didn't think that would happen. All right, so here is Ellison. Listen to this. First, he takes on citizens, then he goes after the cops. Every time this comes up, Dan and I spar. Usually it's here locally over the cameras. I'll ask Henry in a moment. In the proposition, some people like it. The more cameras we have out there, the less crime we're going to have, really. And what are we giving up? You're not giving up anything. If you're not doing anything wrong, why do you worry that you're on camera all the time? Is that really where we want to go? Or should we just vote out Larry Krasner and actually catch and punish criminals and maniacs like this guy who was going to shoot at President Trump with this long criminal record? We already have enough apprehension, or a good bit. We just don't put people in jail or keep them there. No. Larry Ellison's got Ellis has got the answer to this. Here's what he said.
The police will be on their best behavior because we're constantly watching and recording everything that's going on. Citizens will be on their best behavior because we're constantly recording and reporting everything that's going on. And it's unimpeachable. The cars have cameras on them. I think we have a squad car here someplace. But those kind of applications using AI, if we can use AI, and we're using AI to monitor the video. So if that altercation that occurred in Memphis, the chief of police would be immediately notified. It's not people that are looking at those cameras. It's AI that's looking at the cameras. No. You can't do this. It would be like a shooting. That's going to be an event that's immediately, an alarm is going to go off. It's going to be, and we're going to have supervision. In other words, every police officer is going to be supervised.
All right.
At all times.
Oh, goodness.
And,
all right.
And the supervision will, and if there's a problem, AI will report the problem and report it to the appropriate person, whether it's the sheriff or the chief or whomever we need to take control of the situation. We have, same thing. We have drones. If there's something going on in a shopping center, and I'll stop. A drone goes out there, get there way faster than a police car. There's no reason for, by the way, high-speed chases. You shouldn't have high-speed chases between cars. You just have a drone follow the car. I mean, it's very, very simple. And the new generation of autonomous drones.
All right, Henry, are you like Dan, enamored with this, and realize listeners usually in my camp go wild?
I can't say I'm a fan of this idea.
Okay.
I don't like the whole Big Brother surveillance, even if it is AI. I don't want anyone watching me. I mean, this reminds me of a lot of the Chinese credit social system. It uses facial tracking software.
Yeah, that's what it could lead to.
To determine if you're a good boy or a bad boy, and then gives you a score.
Right, exactly.
I mean, this has shades of that written all over it. And this guy sounds like he's an idealist. He wants to think the best that will come of this.
He's a guy with too much money that's out of control.
Yeah.
Like Bill Gates.
Yeah, and I understand the self-autonomy thing. I think, if we invested in self-driving cars and more things like that, it'd be a better life for us. But at the same time, I don't like the drone thing.
All right, so it's 855-839-1210. Dan's on vacation at some wedding thing. We should ring him up. All right, Dan, here we go again. Your buddy, Larry Ellison, now wants us all watched constantly. How many years, we've heard people say, well, if you're not doing anything wrong, now they actually not only have the drones and the cameras and all, they got AI, then, this guy. What's your score today? You were eating a cheeseburger. We don't like that. Is that paranoia?
They want you watched, Dom. They don't want the actual criminals watched.
Right, exactly.
That's the problem. They don't
exactly.
want the Larry Krasners of the world to be watched. They want you to be watched.
Meanwhile, the Secret Service doesn't have infrared or a drone protecting Trump on a golf course with a maniac in shrubbery. Where's Larry Ellison?
They probably don't even have a rangefinder out there.
Yeah, exactly. No, this guy was just going to tell Trump how many yards he had to the pin. That was about it. All right, it's 855-839-1210. We've seen this before. People with just billions, and they get a little bit crazy. Nobody tells them no. They're sitting there. They can do it better. Mark Cuban's another guy dabbling in stuff constantly now. Not like this. Not like Bill Gates is probably top of the line. But this guy, this AI meets the constant surveillance state. You get the rationale. Is that the type of world we want to live in? The answer is no. People that want to do that. I mean, it's very similar. We've been talking today about Trump's rhetoric. Hillary Clinton and others wanting to criminalize some of this. We already have laws. We already have things that could be cited here. And yet, we want to continue to press against free speech. Beat them at the ballot box, all right? 2020, that election, arguably. Just do it again. What's the problem? Well, we want a sure thing here, and we don't think this time around there is any sure thing. 855-839-1210. Do you want that type of world? Every time it comes up, large and small, it's offered as a panacea. A, it won't work. It'll go more draconian. Or if it works at some level, to Henry's point, they'll start saying, well, we want to monitor other forms of human behavior. And it's better for you. I mean, there are a lot of things that I could argue that are better. Here's a case, Henry. Boar's Head, I used to get their cheese, not anymore. They've had problems. I don't know if you saw this at their factory.
Yeah.
So they're cutting out liverwurst now, which I think is a horrible, just saying it, food. But it's America. You ought to be able to sit there and consume liverwurst all that you want. I don't care.
I guess no one's really buying it, though. I mean, that's like you just said. It's like, oh, liverwurst.
Oh, my God.
I'm kind of hungry right now, and you just killed my appetite.
Yeah, see, doesn't it? Just the mere mention of it. So they stopped it because it's got to be poisonous or listeria. They can't. Yeah. They're tired of making it. Like, where's the liverwurst market?
Yeah, seriously.
It's the Scrapple market, too. But that's
yeah. Don't get me started on Scrapple. I mean, I'm a big Scrapple supporter.
Oh, you are?
Oh, 100%.
Okay.
Best breakfast meat.
Okay.
I'll die on that hill.
The mystery meat. All right, so jump in at 855-839-1210 and hit us with that folk hero. We heard today from the people in Charleroi that on Friday, Dave McCormick and others will be there, and they're going to do a national event around the help they need. Here we go. Bob Casey will just call them names, I guess. They're bringing McCormick in to make this a point in the election that Americans are being inundated with the results of illegal immigration / executive order, Haitians bypassing the immigration system. And the bottom line is, whose needs do you fulfill? Millions of people from around the world or people in these towns? Because they're not coming to Beverly Hills, not coming to Chestnut Hill, they're not coming to Rittenhouse Square. You know where they're going to go. They're going to go to these towns. And they're going to be, the rationale is, well, these towns are tank towns, so they are going to help them. They're revitalizing them. That's what the message is. All right, let's talk about FanDuel. We gave you a good tip yesterday. I wonder how many people took that. Henry spotted that. 18.5 for Barkley receiving yards. Of course, I know the drop pass. But this is the last call for an offer from FanDuel that's almost over. All FanDuel customers can bet $5 and get a 3-week free trial of NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV with FanDuel in partnership with Valley Forge Casino. Then with that YouTube TV base plan, you'll be able to watch every regular season Sunday afternoon out-of-market game. All you need is a Google account and current form of payment, and you can cancel anytime. Just visit FanDuel.com/Dom to download America's #1 sportsbook. That's FanDuel.com/DOM. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official partner of 1210 WPHT. You have to be 21 plus and present in Pennsylvania. Full price of NFL Sunday Ticket will be automatically charged seasonally after free trial. No refunds. Terms, restrictions, and embargoes apply. Gambling problem? 1-800-GAMBLER.
Weather is sponsored by United Tire.
Humid conditions return as tropical moisture works its way into the Delaware Valley. Today, partly to mostly cloudy and warm with a high of around 80. For tonight, clouds continue, some showers possible overnight with a low 66. And for Wednesday, mostly cloudy with some showers around, high 78.
Right now, when you buy any 4 tires at United Tire, you'll receive a free oil change or a basic 4-wheel alignment. United Tire cares as much as you do about your car. Visit UnitedTire.com to find the locally owned United Tire location nearest you. Don't drive alone. Drive United.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-727-9105. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-727-9105. 800-727-9105. 800-727-9105.
Discover the all-new 2024 Tacoma at Tri-County Toyota. Right now, get rates as low as 4.99% for 60 months or choose 5.99% for 72 months. Experience the trail-dominating power, legendary capability, and captivating style of the redesigned Tacoma. Tri-County Toyota is easy to find off the Limerick exit of 422. Visit TriCountyToyota.com today for more details. And don't forget, when you buy from Tri-County, you get Tri-County for life.
Life can get hectic. Wouldn't you love to retreat from the noise? Take a breath. Visit Malvern Retreat House, the nation's oldest and largest Catholic retreat house, located on a stunning campus in Chester County. Surround yourself in God's beauty while you step back, reflect, and recharge. Malvern Retreat House hosts men and women's retreats, plus couples retreats, spiritual direction, recovery retreats, and more. For retreat information and schedules, go to malvernretreat.com. Retreat from the noise. Hear God's voice.
Chronic pain, cancer, fatigue. Find out about the benefits of medical hydration therapy on Health Watch with Dr. Molly Fantasia every Sunday morning at 8 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
With NJ Diet, you can lose 20 to 40 plus pounds in only 40 days. They have customers that have lost 37 pounds, 100 pounds, and over 120 pounds, and they've kept it off. You'll have more energy, and you'll probably see better lab results. NJ Diet uses your hair, saliva, and blood work to provide you personalized natural formulas and supplements so you can lose the weight, and DNA testing will help you keep it off. Lose 20 to 40 plus pounds in only 40 days, contractually guaranteed. Go to njdiet.com.
With so much uncertainty in the world today, you may find yourself wondering, is now even the right time to retire?
So many people are waiting, and those folks are going to be waiting a really long time, I hate to say, because there's no perfect time. The market is always unpredictable and volatile.
Fortunately, Jim Cipriotti has been helping get people to, through, and beyond retirement for over 25 years. Each week, he wants to help give you that freedom to retire. Listen to Freedom to Retire with Jim Cipriotti, Saturday mornings at 9 and Sunday afternoons at 5 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, broadcasting from the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter.
All right, Tom Giordano coming to your calls at 855-839-1210. Just during that break, I'm not going to mention anybody, any name, whatever, but if you're in politics and Henry or Dan or I call you or Rich's show or Dawn or Nick, whatever, during this election cycle, you're a Republican or a conservative or libertarian, and you don't have time for Talk Radio 1210, then my advice is get into a different field. Oh, so you guys are that arrogant. Yeah. The other night in the spin room, I was there with the son. He's the deputy chief for Mike Waltz, okay? Esteemed congressman. His dad is a big-time talk show host. And he said to me, given where all this is headed, by any sense of it, this is the most important radio station in America. During normal times, it's in the top 5. Everybody knows that. But given the stakes with Pennsylvania, given the viewpoint, given the reach, given all that, If you don't get that, then I don't understand how you think you're going to win. You should be calling us. Is that arrogant? That's my attitude. Well, it is my attitude with talk radio anyhow. Because even if you're on the other side, you come on, you make a good point, it humanizes you. I've had people on that, like Bob Brady came to Mulligan's. We differ on a lot of things, but he's one of those Democrats that is not on board with any number of things. And it's commendable that he come in and we had that conversation. And people accept that. It's progressives. It's the Kamala Harrises of the world. It's those that can't answer a question, couldn't withstand any type of follow-up. But some of it's Republicans. They just don't get it. They just don't get talk radio. How convenient it is, how easy it is that people get to know you as a person. That's what it's about. All right, phone lines are 855-839-1210. We're looking for all-time folk hero, real or fictional. I guess I'm going to have to take mine off that I think would be a winner to give you the lines I would go on. Now, maybe it wouldn't. Maybe, but I'm looking on the board. Maybe somebody comes up with something better. Robin Hood occurred to me because Robin Hood is mythical, but there was a Robin Hood.
Yeah.
Now, people, I put this on Twitter, and I've actually had Keith Oberman one day went wild. They hate this, that Robin Hood was not in favor of robbing from the rich and giving to the poor. It was the sheriff of Nottingham and oppressive taxes. That's what Robin Hood was about.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, if you go, I mean, there's a fair argument that that's exactly what it was about. But Robin Hood apparently was real, but then there's, how many films have done Robin Hood?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I almost said a character like that as well in Dracula.
Yes.
It's Vlad the Impaler. It's a real guy, but
right.
He wasn't really a vampire.
Exactly.
He's just a very cunning killer.
Yeah, and not a folk hero necessarily. It's on the other side of the ledger.
So I didn't take him.
Yeah, we haven't heard any local ones. Nick Foles is definitely one. We had Joe Watson on from Mulligan's. People on the Broad Street Bullies at that time, they were folk heroes, memorable figures. But the only one in recent memory who's a folk hero is Nick Foles. I mean, Bryce Harper would have to win the World Series this year and hit, several home runs in the World Series, run into a wall or, catch a ball and floating over the dugout to win. That's what you need to be a folk hero. It's not just about winning. It has to be in a way. And there's very few positions that lend it to that. Quarterback is definitely one. In the other team sports, it's pretty hard to do that.
I might have one that may quantify for this. Matt Stairs. People talk about that home run like it was the greatest thing of all time. And while it was a bomb, I mean, that guy was here for what, a season and a half, maybe? But he still gets talked about. Like you talk about that 08 team. It's like, Rollins, Utley. It's like, remember Matt Stairs home run?
That's true. When people go, remember a guy who you go, really? You're putting him in that way?
Yeah.
That has folk hero type of status. Well, Nick Foles is like that. Let's face it, his career was middling.
Super up and down.
But what he did during that was as good as any quarterback. He beat Tom Brady.
Yeah.
When Brady threw for 500 yards.
One of the greatest passing seasons in 2013 where it was the 27-2 touchdown interception ratio, and then he comes in and fills it for
6 touchdowns, wasn't it, in one game?
Yeah. 7.
And if you sit and talk, if you had the chance to talk with a guy, it's like, he's like Opie. It's shocking to see that. All right, let me go to let's go to Steve in Langhorne. This is a pretty good one. Hey, Steve, good afternoon. Who's your folk hero?
Santa Claus.
All right, tell us.
I just think he's a good stable folk hero. It's old. It's forever and almost forever, but that's all.
Okay, thank you, Steve.
Might be a villain around here.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's right. Remember, it's in the call. I get it. You say Santa Claus, and what's this guy quizzing me for? It's all in your call.
Yeah.
You got to
sell it.
Yeah, sell it a little bit here. That's what we're going with. All right. 855-839-1210. You get a line. I'm looking at the P. Diddy stuff. Oh, my God. I can't say it on the air. Some of the things they found in searching for these freak-offs that he was doing. If you happen to hear that in the news, wow. The question is this. The biggest question with Diddy is this. Why did he get away with it? Now, it's alleged. In other words, why was this all of a sudden propelled? And the answer usually is, same thing in the case of Epstein, even though I don't think this is on that level. He knew something or has enough friends, but probably more knew had blackmailing evidence on enough people, is always the supposition. With Epstein, you know the levels that we were at there, and that's why it was a long time before he actually fully got arrested. Why with this, Henry? Do you see anything? That's the supposition. Why?
Yeah, I think it's kind of like you're not going to bite the hand that feeds you things. So
Right.
I bet people knew about this to some extent, at least. You know, there's rumors of it. Like I always think back, like there's old videos of Diddy and Justin Bieber, and Justin Bieber's like a kid.
Right.
And he could not look more uncomfortable with Diddy like on his shoulders, and it's like, what did he know then?
Right.
What
Oh,
did
this
he
has
see?
been 10 years
So,
of this at least.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think it's just, this guy made you famous. Are you going to throw him under the bus like that? I mean, again, he is, allegedly a very bad dude here, but yeah, are you going to bite the hand that feeds you? I think it comes down to that.
All right, so why the authorities, though? We're not talking about that they just couldn't find anybody because they were afraid they'd be killed or blackmailed
Right.
or something else.
Something like
Maybe
that,
that's
yeah.
something like that, yeah. So 855-839-1210. AT&T and Verizon Wireless. All we need you to do is push pound 1210 and we'll get to you. Let's talk about your cholesterol levels, because managing healthy cholesterol, that's a key to a strong heart and overall wellness. For over 38 years, Rescue Natural Supplements has been a trusted ally in helping people reach their cholesterol goals. I've counted on Rescue, as you know, for years, and with good reason. Their range of supplements is designed to meet your specific needs, from omega-3s to red yeast rice and more. Take charge of your heart health today. That's the key. Use the code DROP at checkout to double your order on any cholesterol product for free. Call them today at 800-26-ALIVE, 800-262-5483. Speak to a knowledgeable product consultant or use the code online when you visit res-q.com, res-q.com. Remember to use the code DROP. Buy one, get one free on Rescue Cholesterol products. Double up your cholesterol support today. Use the code DROP at res-q.com.
Kale and Company weekday mornings 6 till 10.
I don't know if you guys agree with this, but if I'm Trump, I'm no longer taking phone calls from Joe Biden or Kamala Harris. My iPhone rings. You see the little accept or decline button? Decline. I did the photo op with you on 9/11 after the stage debate on ABC. Kamala will be right back on the wagon today, I'm sure, and you're going to hear the same old rhetoric. Not about her opportunity economy and the specifics of what that entails, but just the general entry-level stupid verbiage.
Start your day with Kale and Company. Weekday mornings 6 till 10 on Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and the free Odyssey app.
I'm Jalen Hurst here for Window Nation. It's time to call an audible. These high utility bills are getting out of hand. Make your home cozy with new windows.
Right now at Window Nation, buy 2 windows and get 2 free. There's no limit on how much you could save. Plus, you could save big with no interest or payments for 24 months. Call Window Nation today to schedule your fast, free in-home estimate or visit windownation.com.
Don't pay more than you have to for new windows. Call 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com.
Are you worried about the state of the economy? Concerned about market crashes and rising inflation wiping out your savings? At Noble Gold Investments, we understand your fears and have a solution. Call us today at 1-888-403-1050. Imagine safeguarding you and your family with a tangible asset that has stood the test of time. Gold. With Noble Gold Investments, you can diversify your portfolio and protect your wealth from economic turmoil. Our team will guide you through the process process ensuring you make informed decisions that best suit your needs. Call Noble Gold Investments today at 1-888-403-1050. That's 1-888-403-1050. The future is uncertain. Take control now. Call 1-888-403-1050.
Past performance may not be indicative of future results. Investing in precious metals, including gold, involves risks. Consult with your tax attorney or financial professional before making an investment decision.
The air is cooler, the leaves are changing, and football is back. While the players are making moves on the field, you can make the ultimate move with a beautiful engagement ring from Cozy Jewelers. Still not sure? Hey, the holidays will be here sooner than you think. So stop into Cozy Jewelers and huddle up with Paul Cozy and pick out a custom engagement ring that will make this the most magical holiday ever. Step up to the 5th C. That's color, cut, clarity, carat, and cozy. Cozy Jewelers, located in Newtown Square. Or CozyJewelers.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you. Discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at Hims, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/joy and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free, with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. hims.com/joy.
Hey, Paoli, we know your favorite station is Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
All right, it is Dom time at 855-839-1210. We'll get you on board. This is cut 19, Jim. Here is, oh boy, Elizabeth Warren and Jen Psaki talking about when Trump was shot. Imagine these two idiots sitting in a comfortable studio. When he was shot in the ear, they're disturbed that it set off that he went fight, fight, fight as he was being taken out. Really, they're disturbed that he had the presence of mind to get that immortal shot, meaning to the camera, the blood gushing down, and Trump telling people to continue to fight. Here's what they said.
One of the things that struck me is as to your point, they're trying to change the subject. Yep. And you hear this fight, fight, fight chant, which you heard Trump do right after the shooting in Butler. We saw that once again on Truth Social. That does scare me a little bit. Yeah. How do you feel about that?
So I have to say,
you try being shot.
I'm a fighter. I've written books that talk about fighting, but I mean with words. That's all that this means. In a democracy, we need to be able to go back and forth with our words. We need to be able to disagree and to put those issues in front of the American people. That's how we inform people about our positions. That's how we get back in and make a decision that the majority of Americans want. And it's only by talking about those. But that is very, very different from a man who incited an insurrection, a man who refers to his political rivals as vermin, a man who has said just in recent days that he wants to lock up the people who don't agree with him. That is a very, very different kind of approach, not just to politics, but to democracy, and one that ultimately does put our democracy at risk, puts us all at risk. Look, just as you stated, I want him to be fully protected. I want Kamala Harris to be fully protected, no doubt about that. But we have to keep the space open to talk about the issues and to draw the contrast.
Okay, let's stop it right here. A few simple questions to clarify that. Is it okay to continue to say that Trump is Hitler or Mussolini or a fascist? Trump is going to end democracy. The system we have now is not going to stop talking around the issue. Just blurt it out. Let's ask the questions, yes or no here. So you're shot in the ear by a deficient Secret Service and a maniac and saying, fight, fight, fight. Well, that concerns me. Let's delve into this a little bit more. But incite, and by the way, the insurrection, who was charged with insurrection here? Who are the people that were charged with insurrection? Trump certainly wasn't charged with insurrection. Where does that come from? Charge him with it or shut up. Why is that not anywhere on the radar screen of charging him with that? The only silver lining of all this, and we mentioned it before with Sean Parnell, is that Florida is doing their own investigation on this. And I bet Florida has a result on that, a preliminary report, within a week. And then we're going to hear, oh, they rushed to judgment. We need 60 days or more. All right, big 2 o'clock hour. We have Dom's Money Melody. And with all this talk of these towns being inundated by refugees through the Biden administration, I'm going to give you the names because there is a bipartisan open letter that's out there of some local politicians, even in the suburbs, 3 in the suburbs, calling for more emigres, more refugees. And the question we have is, do you want them, as you're saying, your town would want to have like Charleroi, 4,000 brought into a small town, or 20,000 like Springfield, Ohio? What town around here is going to go on record saying, yeah, that's what we want? I'll give you the names coming up with Dom on Talk Radio 1210.
Pending approved credit. Offers cannot be combined. Excludes taxes and tax.
Take an e-car buyers. This time of year, Jack Dell and the team at Dell Chevy know it's all about penetration. Good, sustained market penetration. Are you ready for some savings? Score with end-of-model year savings at Dell Chevrolet. No need to fight for every inch at other dealers. Dell Chevy always sees a hole and gets right up in there with the Dell Vehicle Exchange Program. Right now, get out of your old car or truck and into a new vehicle and keep your payments the same or maybe even make them less. No holds, no illegal touching, just clean blocking from bad deals. Buy with no money down and 0% financing every day at Dell Chevrolet. Don't get caught from behind. Keep running to Dell Chevrolet for end-of-model year savings. Dell Chevy is close, located on Route 30 in Paoli. No matter where you are, Phoenixville, Westchester, Delaware County, you're just minutes away. If you're worried you're going to pay too much for your next car, you don't know Jack. Online at DellChevrolet.com. Say habla español.
Jack, sell them for less.
Fargo, your virtual assistant from Wells Fargo, makes banking faster and easier. Like this.
Fargo, what did I spend on groceries last month?
And this.
Fargo, turn off my debit card.
And this.
Fargo, what's my checking account routing number?
And that's just the beginning. Do you, Fargo? You can in the Wells Fargo mobile app. Learn more at wellsfargo.com/getfargo.
Fargo is only available on the smartphone versions of the Wells Fargo mobile app. Wells Fargo Bank N.A., member FDIC.
Concert season is just heating up. Check out these awesome upcoming shows presented by Live Nation.
Jeff Lynne's ELO at Wells Fargo Center, September 20th and 21st. Ringo Starr and his all-star band at TD Pavilion at The Man on September 24th. Pod Save America podcast at the Met Philadelphia, presented by Highmark, October 6th.
To buy tickets and to check out all upcoming concerts, head to livenation.com right now.
It's that time of year again to consider replacing your old drafty windows and doors before another long, cold winter season rolls in. And my good friends at Guida Door and Window will help make your window and door replacement project more affordable with their buy one, get one half off sale. For every door and window you buy, you'll get the second one at 50% off. And you can mix and match these savings to suit your own needs. Buy an entry door, get half off a storm door. Buy a patio door, get 50% off a window. Need to replace all the windows and doors in your house? Then you'll save 50% on half your project. The more you need, the more you save. Plus, Guida is making it easier to afford your project with no money down and interest-free financing for up to 18 months. Act now. This offer is for a limited time only. Restrictions apply. For full details, call Guida today to schedule a free, no-obligation in-home estimate at 877-GO-GUIDA or visit them at GoGuida.com. That's go, G-U-I-D-A.com.
Do you have shoeboxes full of photos?
Today only, radio listeners get VIP access to the new Photo Legacy Box. Get your family's photos professionally scanned for as low as 7 cents, which is 76% less than what other brands charge. As the world's largest digitizer, you know you can trust Legacy Box to digitize your entire collection of 4x6 photos. Everything from the embarrassing haircut you had in the 90s to photos of your great-grandma's wedding. Visit legacybox.com/value to get 200 photos scanned starting at just $19.95. Oh, and don't forget, Legacy Box also digitizes over 15 other types of analog media, so you can get your favorite memories on VHS or Grandpa's film reels from the 40s digitized too. Take advantage of this exclusive offer on the new Photo Legacy Box today and preserve your past for as low as 7 cents. Go to legacybox.com/value. That's legacybox.com/value.
On Philadelphia's Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3, Philadelphia. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app. It's Dom time. Now, Dom Giordano.
All right, it is Dom time. VP Harris in downtown Philadelphia, the National Black Journalists Group. I think we might, Henry, dip into that. It's on at 2:30. They start. Just have an ear to it. If I'd like to hear, a question and what they do if she starts talking about lawns and how she was a middle-class kid when asked, what are you going to do about inflation? No, I think they're going to ask, what are you going to do to shut up Trump about complaining that rhetoric, your rhetoric and the rhetoric of Biden and a million others are causing these attempted assassinations? But President Trump has just added this Sunday a visit to Bucks County, which is always a good place to go. But, Henry, I'll ask you first. Any sense, and I'll just give you a clue here, if Dan were here, this would be a field day. He's going to go to the National Shrine of Our Lady of Czestochowa. Why do you think that might be?
Let's see. To appeal to a certain base, I'd
say? We're getting warmer. Yes.
Yeah.
Who might that be?
The evangelical crowd?
No. Remember in the last debate, they went after him, Harris reminding him of the number of people of this ethnic background, think Borowski, who are in Pennsylvania. I think they said 800,000.
Oh, we're talking about the Pennsylvania Dutch?
No. Borowski.
Polak?
Oh, yes. Yeah, that's right. So how do you like this? What other reason is Trump going to Our Lady of Czestochowa, which I know that is a destination for people. I know a little bit the history. We know Catholic voters. But also, I think it's going to come up. I'm not going to do what Harris said. I'm not going to let Putin overrun Poland. Are you kidding me? Putin wouldn't dare. And he didn't overrun Poland when I was there. Imagine that lame thing. She goes to Putin, then he invades, and she says, yes, we have Trump there. He'll let Ukraine fall, and then Putin will be allowed to take over Poland. Remember that. We have 800,000 people who are Polish that are in Pennsylvania. That number might be right. I think it was the 5th highest ethnic group. And you're right, Henry, the Pennsylvania Dutch/German were the number one group. Irish second, then I think Italians. I forget who's fourth. It may be Poles that were fourth. All right, so Trump coming this Sunday to Bucks County. And you watch. That will be the angle. Now, speaking of immigrant groups, speaking of people settling here, we had on today a great interview with the people at Charleroi in Pennsylvania. They announced that Dave McCormick, among others, are coming on Friday for a national news conference in this small town to make the point about helping them since they're being overwhelmed. Well, I'm looking at this letter that was sent out. That's the gist of this letter is it supports the U.S. refugee admissions program, meaning the people that on this open letter signed this, they want more. They're on board refugees being sent to America. Now, do they want them being sent to their town, their city? is always the question, is it not? Here are some of the people mentioned. I don't know this woman, but I'd love to speak with her. Henry, you could try for her, whenever you get a chance. She's evergreen here. Carol Kenny, who is a township supervisor in Upper Marion. It just says Montgomery. I looked it up. She's in Upper Marion. She said, by signing this open letter, yes, I support this. We want more of this. Upper Marion. Now, you have to understand, the people in the Philadelphia area that I found that support it, they are among the most radical members of the House of Representatives and the like in Harrisburg. Elizabeth Fielder, socialist. Tariq Khan, same kind of deal, both in Philadelphia. Nicholas O'Rourke, he's the Working Families Party. They are to the left of those two even. Ben Waxman, another guy that fits here. But here are the three that jump out at me. Carol Kenny, who represents or runs Upper Marion. They want more people in King of Prussia? They need people to work at the mall, Carol? Is that why you want to inundate? Do you want to bring them to your town? Where do you want to bring these people? No, Dom, I just want them to go to Springfield and Charleroi and places like that so I feel good. How about Joe Hohenstein? He's a state representative in Philadelphia, and I believe his district is mainly the river wards, like Port Richmond, Bridesburg. I think he was Dan's representative when he lived over there in Port Richmond, okay? You think the people of Port Richmond want to have 20,000 Haitians like Springfield, Ohio? Do they want them to come to Port Richmond and Bridesburg? And finally, and we jousted with this guy, Jim Lee. He at one point was the lead commissioner over in Springfield Township, Winmore. Remember that? When they went after the cops? They went after the cops' First Amendment rights. Remember that whole story? Some of the nutbags there, the progressives over there, in a place that surprised me. Well, he was the head of the council at that point. He's on here. So they have 500 of these people. I didn't find any in Jersey that are close by. They have 500 of these people nationally who, by this letter, are saying, yes, they want more refugee resettlement, and they want to try to convince us it's revitalizing these towns. Well, guess what? The people in these towns, by and large, they feel overwhelmed by this. They don't feel it's revitalizing anything. That's the bottom line. And isn't that the thing that's been roiling coming out of all this since the debate? Not so much the cats and all that stuff. It's the bottom line of just making these people suffer so that progressives and others feel good about their political stance, meaning bringing by executive order 300,000 Haitians into America. We had the guy on from Charleroi, the councilman, saying, we weren't told. They just showed up one day. There was nothing going on. They're just there. The businesses seemingly want some of this. They're in collusion with the Biden administration who wants it. Shut up. There it goes. Why does it never happen in the Doylestown, the Chestnut Hills, even the Cherry Hills, the, main line? Bring them out there in the main line. But apparently, this Kenny woman signed off on this. We'd like to know why she signed off on this. Does she want resettlement in Upper Marion? If you're in Upper Marion, I'd love to know. How about in Port Richmond, Bridesburg? And how about out there in Winmore, Springfield Township, Cheltenham? That's where it is. It's in Montgomery County. Do all these people actually want what we've seen in these towns like Springfield, Aurora, etc.? Yeah, we want it. We're not racist like those people. That seems to be the argument, okay? 855-839-1210. If you're in any of those places or know them. I mean, this is an open letter I'm reading from. It says nearly 500 bipartisan state and local officials from all 50 states welcome refugee resettlement in their communities. They claim that refugees contributed $124 billion to the American economy in 1 year, including nearly $28 billion in taxes in 2021 alone. As many communities struggle with labor shortages as in key professions like teachers, doctors, nurses, refugees have a critical role to play in bringing needed talent and expertise in these professions and beyond. All right, so why don't these towns get it? But then again, these enlightened people, why are we not seeing this in Upper America? Think for a moment what would happen if the numbers that we brought you with Springfield and the people from Charleroi. I'm trying to judge the population in my head of Upper Marion, what it might be. Suppose we brought even 5,000 Haitians to Upper Marion. What do you think the reaction would be? Or just one day in Port Richmond, Bridesburg, there were another 10,000 Haitians. Or in Springfield Township, out there in Cheltenham, suddenly there were another 5 to 8 to 10,000. With people go, oh, thank God, we're revitalized. Thank God, Joe Biden. Thank God, any of these representatives. Why are they signing off on this? They're signing off on it because it puts them inside the people that are good, that are moral, not like the rest of us. It would go, are you kidding me? We had them on today. The kindergarten class this year is about 60 kids. 45 of them only speak Creole or French from Haiti. How would a town of under 4,000 or so deal with that? Well, not very well. Doesn't matter. This is an essential thing in this election. The essential thing being these Democrat progressive elites of one sort or another. They talk a good game, but they dump all these things into communities that certainly don't want them. How do all these things end up? Remember, we always talk about why does all this end up in Kensington? Because they wanted it to go there. They don't want to stop it. They don't want it in their neighborhood, so dump it in Kensington. So we'll see if any of these people will come on and explain it. I think if you heard them, there would be fury among their constituents, and they'd have to say, never mind, we don't really believe that. All right, I think Michael in Bethlehem's got a pretty good one as far as today's side question, which is name that folk hero. Let's go to Michael in Bethlehem. Hey, Michael, good afternoon.
Hi, how are you doing?
Good.
This is a guy who, like Robin Hood, and I'm not comparing him to Robin Hood, but he had a movie that I think John Cusack was the star of, and also a book done on him.
Yes.
Joey Coyle.
Yes, and caught running through, was it LaGuardia or was it the other airport with $100 bills coming out of his boots that he had stashed there
I thought
running?
it was actually Philadelphia airport that he was running through.
Oh, maybe it was. I thought he got to New York, but you may be right. And it did literally fall off the back of a truck down on 2nd Street.
Exactly. You gotta love the guy.
That is a great one.
And he
Yeah.
was found not guilty of all charges.
I didn't know that part. That is a great.
And I think that the jury actually on their own came back and said he was temporarily insane.
We'll have to look that up even more. That is a good one. That is a folk hero. I remember it like it was yesterday. I was on overnights at WWDB. I didn't know the jury found him not guilty. That is good. Let me go to Dennis, though, who's in Upper Marion. Hey, Dennis, good afternoon. So, Dennis, what do you know about this Carol Kenny?
I know she's a supervisor here. I don't know anything more than that. I don't know if she has the right to sign an open letter saying that we'll take more people. I don't think that's right. I mean, that should be brought up. That's something that should be brought up at the supervisors meeting and then be approved that, yeah, you could sign that. Because I'm going to inform a lot of people here because I know people don't know that.
Yeah, please do. Look, we're going to try to get her on. Henry, you can try to get her on. I don't think she will.
I know she won't. She probably don't even. She probably don't even know what this station is. Number one, but number two, I mean, I listen to you every day, and I want to call all the time, but this one here hit right home because I live right here. I live right in Marion, and we don't have room for anything. I mean,
no. Well, what it is, Dennis, somehow or another, they get in progressive circles, brownie points,
Yep.
gold star, or they network off this. We're all in this together. But you're right. There's no way she's going to propose those people actually living in Upper Marion. She's doing this, though, to be on the majority side of this. And I'm asking, well, Carol, if you signed the letter, why wouldn't you not put them in Upper Marion?
Well, I don't understand what I mean. We just built new schools, and all reports are they're full.
Yeah,
so
sure.
I don't know where we're going to put if we were in a situation where 20,000 people came from Haiti, I don't know where we'd put them.
No.
We don't have room to put them in here.
What's the population, would you say, ballpark, Dennis, of Upper Marion? What you consider to be Upper Marion?
It's hard to say because with the mall and all.
Yeah.
I mean, we have a ton of brand new apartment buildings that just got built.
Okay.
And we have we have places that are being built now, new houses and housing and all, but they're all expensive housing. You're not putting immigrants in there. I don't know what we're talking about here about bringing people from somewhere else.
I think Dennis, Upper Marion might be 40,000 people. Does that seem too high? Wait a minute.
I got 33,000.
33,000. Right.
What is it?
33,000. So
33, but then like you're talking any given day. I mean, traffic here is terrible.
Oh, right.
I mean,
well, that's that. I knew. I agree with you because of that mall. Oh my. Wait a minute. I'm in a sweat. Remembering, is it A, B? I'm supposed to turn off when I get around King of Prussia to go to the main thing. Oh my God, I'm sweating right here. So, Dennis, to your point, there could be 75,000 people there on some days traveling around there.
And any day during the holidays, don't even go out after 4 o'clock because you can't even make it around the streets. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. So picture in that situation, 10,000 Haitians not knowing the driving laws going around the King of Prussia Mall. Picture this.
Exactly. Yeah. You just can't. And I'm really thinking about it, and I told your producer, I'm thinking about starting a petition because I don't see where you can get, as a supervisor of this town, where you can just turn around and say, yeah, Upper Marion will take them. Did the people speak? Did the people tell you to do that?
Oh, ask her. Dennis, you're our reporter there. Please let us know. And again, this is the bipartisan state and local officials, the Welcome Refugee Resettlement in their communities. That's the title of this.
Well, I know there's not a whole lot of neighbors of my neighbors would say, yeah, well, fine, bring them on in. I don't see that. I don't see that happening. So
thank you, Dennis.
Right,
glad to hear your call. Thank you very much. And out in Winmore, Jim Lee, and Henry, it's evergreen with her. So whenever she would come on, we'd like to hear it. Joe Hohenstein. And if they say, well, I don't mean it for my community, well, why not? You know, tell us about those racists in Charleroi and Springfield, Ohio. Notice what's happening here, too. In both governments of those cities, the city manager and in Springfield, whatever they are, they're both now in the tank saying the Haitians have revitalized the town, that these people are all wrong about it. We actually brought you on public officials, the mayor and the councilman from Charleroi, and we found out, kind of breaking news, on Friday, they're going to hold a national news conference there. Now, it's too far for me to go, but I was thinking about it. Broadcasting from downtown Charleroi, putting the signs in English and Creole. But here, Upper Marion, Bridesburg, Port Richmond. Come on, Joe Hohenstein, give us a call. Only the most radical members in our area, Philadelphia representatives, this Tariq guy and the Fielder guy and Nicholas O'Rourke, he's a working families guy. You know that group, right? Even the Democrats didn't want him. All the others are in Pittsburgh's pretty radical. They actually have more people on this list. Oh, wait a minute. All right, I'm not sure if look this guy up. I'm not sure if he's in West Norriton or in Norristown. I think it's West Norriton. Oh, man. Wait a minute. I know Norriton. Martin Miller, commissioner in West Norriton. Marty, give us a call. Henry, just give me what you have on him there quickly when you find his name. It's West Norriton, I guess, right?
That's what I'm seeing, yeah.
And what is his background, Martin Miller, commissioner there?
So he's been a pharmacist since 2000.
Okay.
Went to Temple.
Okay.
He was on Jeopardy.
He was on Jeopardy?
Yeah.
Hey, Marty, here's your question. Here's the category. 20,000 Haitians. What's Norriton is the answer.
What is?
Yeah, what is West Norriton? Marty, if he has a pharmacy, Henry, he might be mixing something right now. Maybe he'd pop on. I'm serious. Let's see if it come on, you know?
All right. I'll reach out.
Yeah. Martin Miller, commissioner in West Norriton. I don't know how I missed him. If you're in West Norriton, you got a guy there that thinks, yes, this is fine. We should be welcoming. Now, on one hand, you could say, wow, Dom, that's a lot. There's 500 people on this list. On the other hand, you could say out of all these, imagine thousands and thousands and thousands of commissioners, this, that, and the other small towns, they only got 500 people to sign off on this. Some of them are radicals in Philadelphia. Some of them are in Jersey, northern Jersey. But here we have the woman in Upper Merion. We have the guy in West Norriton. We have Winmore. And we have good old Joe Hohenstein. We'll see if one of them would come on and tell us why they think their constituents would support that. Does West Norriton want an influx of refugees, Ukrainian, Haitian, whatever it might be, like we've seen play out here? 855-839-1210. If you're in any of these towns, we'd love to hear from you. But right now, well over time, it is time for...
It's Dom's Money Melody.
Where's all the money gone?
That's right. We're playing for a copy of that great book, Letters to Trump, Coffee Table, wonderful, fun run through all these celebrities and President Trump. Henry, what's your backstory?
Yeah, so today in 1969, the London Daily Mirror reported that Paul McCartney, who some might consider to be a folk hero of the Beatles, was dead.
That's right.
And this is where the famous Paul is dead theory comes from. Some people believe it, some don't. Wherever you stand, I understand what you're hearing here. It might be Billy Shears still being there. I don't know. Anywho, so I thought, why not play a Beatles song? But, of course, it's not going to be by the Beatles. I need the name of this band singing this somewhat annoying Beatles song.
Uh-oh, here we go. Yeah, can you a little bit louder? Do you think that would help? It's a little bit foggy there, at least to me. Yeah. A little bit louder? Yeah. Is that possible or no?
Yeah.
There we go. There you go. Oh, my God. Not as bad as yesterday, but close. All right. Who is covering this famous Beatles song? You heard the backstory with the folk hero, Paul McCartney. 855-839-1210. Do that right now, and we'll send you this. Makes a great gift, too. I mean, this Letters to Trump book is fabulous stuff. You'll get a hoot out of it, too. Alec Baldwin and these others signing off on Trump. Oh, we love you. Thank you for comping me, Donald. Amazing. All right, 855-839-1210. If you're out there in West Norriton, know this pharmacist guy. I'd love to hear from him. You know, part of this show is exposing what goes on here locally. So we're taking these horror stories of Springfield, Charleroi, Aurora, maybe a million towns across the country. These people signed off on endorsing what progressives are doing. They're right here in West Norriton. They're in Upper Merion. They're in Philadelphia, and they're in Winmore. 855-839-1210.
Kale and Company, weekday mornings, 6 till 10.
I don't know if you guys agree with this, but if I'm Trump, I'm no longer taking phone calls from Joe Biden or Kamala Harris. My iPhone rings. You see the little accept or decline button? Decline. I did the photo op with you on 9/11 after the stage debate on ABC. Kamala will be right back on the wagon today, I'm sure, and you're going to hear the same old rhetoric. Not about her opportunity economy and the specifics of what that entails, but just the general entry-level stupid verbiage.
Start your day with Kale and Company, weekday mornings 6 till 10 on Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and the free Odyssey app.
This is Larry Steinhaus with Investor Schooling. Are you ready for retirement? Have you prepared everything you need? While in Investor Schooling, we will teach you ways to better prepare for your retirement using real estate and the stock market. But you need to learn how to do it right, and that's what we teach. At Investor Schooling, we sell nothing but education. Come to Investor Schooling and learn how to have a better retirement. Go to investorschooling.com and RSVP right now for this Thursday's class at 7 o'clock. Go to investorschooling.com. That's investorschooling.com. This is Larry Steinitz with Investor Schooling. Are you tired of hearing about the recession that's coming? Are you prepared for it? Well, listen, at investorschooling.com, we're going to teach you ways to prepare for the recession that you didn't even know existed. We're going to teach you strategies on how to use real estate. We're going to teach you strategies how to use the stock market properly. That's right, you could even make money in the stock market when the stock market goes down. Hey, go to investorschooling.com and register for a free class this Thursday night, and you will learn all of these techniques. Go to investorschooling.com right now, RSVP for this Thursday. We'll see you there.
Join us to conquer childhood cancer on Sunday, September 29th for Children's Hospital of Philadelphia's Parkway Run and Walk, presented by Citadel Credit Union. All funds raised support CHOPS Cancer Center. Learn more and register today at parkway.chop.edu.
The following is a paid commercial message.
Donald Trump's back, and he's out for control.
I would have every right to go after them.
Complete control.
I will wield that power very aggressively.
And he has a plan to get it.
Detailed plans for exactly what our movement will do.
It's called Project 2025, a 922-page blueprint to make Donald Trump the most powerful president ever. Overhauling the Department of Justice, giving Trump the unchecked power to seek vengeance, eliminating the Department of Education, and defunding K-12 schools, requiring the government to monitor women's pregnancies, and Trump has also proposed severe cuts to Medicare and Social Security. Those are Donald Trump's plans.
Well, revenge does take time, I will say that. And sometimes revenge can be justified.
He'll take control, we'll pay the price.
I'm Kamala Harris, candidate for president, and I approve this message. Paid for by Harris for President.
This Saturday morning at 10, tune into a special edition of Your Radio Doctor with Dr. Marianne Ritchie and find out about alcohol use disorder, plus all the latest news and information about your health and wellness. Don't miss Your Radio Doctor Saturday morning at 10.
I'm John Oran, Puck's sports correspondent, and I have a new podcast called The Varsity, where I will take you inside the executive suites and owners' boxes that run the entire sports business. Twice a week, I will bring on the smartest people I know to break down the hottest topics in sports media and give you a window into the inside conversations that are happening throughout sports media. So be sure to follow and listen to the Varsity Podcast, available now on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Free speech lives here on Odyssey's #1 talk station. Talk Radio 1210. 1210 WPHT.
It's Dom Money Melody.
Where has all the money gone?
Show me the money.
That's exactly right. Today, another cover song, folk hero, Beatles, The Walrus. Let's hear it, and you tell us what group is covering this. All right, let's see if Colleen in Chalfont has it. All right, Colleen, afternoon. Who's covering it?
Hi, Dom. Is it Oasis?
All righty, nicely played. I don't know in a million years how you would get that, but it is Oasis, and you are getting the Trump coffee table book. Any more on that, Henry?
No, I just thought, Oasis back in the headlines. I was like, you know what, that'd be a good one for today.
All right, excellent. Boy, these people are on just about anything. All right, so we've had a lot of fun the last half hour with this major news story. And you know what the news story is. The news story is, I'm looking, I'll give you a little bit of this. We're looking to get some of the, momentarily, I think Vice President Harris is being introduced over at the National Black Journalists Association. You may remember the manner in which President Trump was treated there. And he made mention of it. He said, no good morning, no good afternoon, bang, right out of the box. Well, that's the way he deserves to be treated. If Hitler is there, you're not going to stand up and be goose-stepping around, right? You're going to tell Hitler, you're Hitler. I'm not treating you with any respect or anything else. So I see people on Twitter tweeting at me You guys say if Kamala Harris, if Vice President Harris is elected president, that will destroy the country. What's the difference between that and what's being said about Trump? Okay. Now, we may not like certain forms of hyper-political rhetoric, but if you say your opponent, if elected, is going to destroy the economy or something like that, right? Or whatever you accuse him of, you may not think it's accurate, but that's within the norm, is the point of political rhetoric. The difference is when you say this person is going to get rid of our system of government, even though they call it democracy, not a democratic republic. When you say that, and when there's an equal amount of nonsense out there that talks about the fact that this guy is Benito Mussolini at best, but really Hitler, can you not see the difference? I mean, how much does it take? You know, politics, there's mudslinging, there's all this stuff back and forth. And again, as a voter, you can separate out. I don't like it when they go overboard. The country's not going to be in bad shape if Harris is. Of course it is. Just take a look at the 3.5 years plus that she's been in there with Joe Biden. And that's what you're not believing. She is not going to try to move against fracking. Look at the transgender stuff. Look at the non-answers to anything that she would do around baked-in inflation. There is none. She's empty on it. Okay. What is different about what's being said about Trump? It's obvious. There's a reason why we don't accept answers like Hitler and stuff like that. Why don't you? You know why. These things are in a separate category that you cheapen stuff. I mean, even stuff like the soup Nazi, as funny as I think Seinfeld was with it and all that, I get a little bit, there are certain things that are so horrific, so otherworldly, you just don't go there. And Henry, what did you say this guy wanted to be a main character, right? Is that what you said?
Yeah,
main character
main
syndrome.
Character syndrome.
Yeah, main character.
He's
this
the protagonist of the world.
Right. He's in Ukraine, a soldier for it, and he's a nutbag doing all these things. So he gets filled up with, this guy is Hitler. I am saving the country. I will go down in the history books, not as a maniac, snacking in shrubs, waiting for the 6th hole to kill another human being. I stopped Hitler. And you know what? If we had truth serum with any number of these Democrat pundits and political figures, deep down they would say, that's right. That's exactly what we're trying to stop here, by any means necessary. That's the difference. So if they would, here's Hillary Clinton. She wants the media to continue this narrative even more, that he is a danger, an existential danger. Jim, this is cut 11, Hillary Clinton.
And I don't understand why it's so difficult for the press to have a consistent narrative about how dangerous Trump is. The late, great journalist Harry Evans, one time said that, journalists should, really try to achieve objectivity. And by that, he said, I mean, they should cover the object. Well, the object in this case is Donald Trump. His demagoguery, his danger to our country and the world, and stick with it.
There you go. Stick with it even more. All right? That's where we're going to go. This is what we're up against. She also wants people put in jail, criminal penalties, for what she calls misinformation, disinformation. That's the difference. They're blatant about it. Kamala Harris is in Philadelphia saying the price of groceries are still too high. But no answer. And these alleged journalists, I'm watching some of this, are not going to ask, well, we haven't heard an answer. Yeah, how many times are you going to say they're too high? We know they're too high. We don't care. Trump is Hitler. Stop complaining about the groceries. Just get out there and stop Hitler. We'll worry about that later. They're going to be a lot higher anyhow. All right, 855-839-1210. It's not hard to distinguish what we're calling for here. And if Democrats don't want to do it, that's fine. We're not going to put them in jail or anything. But we're going to say they are driving the assassination attempts. That's what's happening here. 855-839-1210. AT&T and Verizon Wireless, just push pound 1210. It's a hectic time as autumn arrives. All those activities restart for the kids. Great reason to call your nearest Captain Chucky's. Let them manage your meal planning. Just get the all-new wild shrimp scampi ravioli. Chucky's has teamed up with Vera Pasta. They have lobster, crab, and now that wild shrimp ravioli. Remember, order the brand new, too. Ro loves this, the Bang Bang Jumbo Lump Crab Cake I've been telling you about. Now, this is a different crab cake, a delicious, creamy 5-ounce jumbo lump breaded crab cake with a kick for those who like to spice it up with some heat. But it's also the perfect time to say, hey, it's just not crab cakes and shrimp and that kind of stuff. Captain Chucky's has sides, desserts, appetizers, soups as we get a little bit colder. Don't forget, too, that Gulf shrimp is a huge hit. It's always wild caught, never farm raised. And my favorite, as you can imagine, the Dom Roll. Captain Chucky's is near you. Just give it a test. Go to the website. You'll see that. WeLoveCrabCakes.com. WeLoveCrabCakes.com. If you're headed to the shore, Captain Chucky's at the shore.com.
Weather sponsored by Morgan & Morgan.
Humid conditions return as tropical moisture works its way into the Delaware Valley. Today, partly to mostly cloudy and warm with a high of around 80. For tonight, clouds continue, some showers possible overnight with a low 66. And for Wednesday, mostly cloudy with some showers around, high 78.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Last year, more clients hired Morgan & Morgan than ever before. We now have more offices, more staff, and more lawyers than any other injury firm in the world. Protecting America, fighting for you.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Feel like everything's clouded by doubt? Visit CaliforniaPsychics.com. Our psychics are available to talk 24/7, and we guarantee if it's not life-changing, it's free. Experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
Snakes, zombies, public speaking. The list of fears is endless. But the real danger is in your hand when you're behind the wheel. Distracted driving is what's really scary and even deadly. Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
You can live out your MasterChef dreams when you find a professional on Angie to tackle your dream kitchen remodel. Connect with skilled professionals to get all your home projects done well. Inside to outside, repairs to renovations. Get started on the Angie app or visit Angie.com today. You can do this when you Angie that.
At Cherry Hill Volvo, we are having two fabulous back-to-school specials. The 2024 S60 front-wheel drive sedan and the exciting electric C40. Each can be leased for 36 months for $369. Due at inception would be a down payment and taxes and registration fees. But in New Jersey, the C40 has no tax. The $369 is an incredible payment on each of these Cherry Hill Volvos. Visit Cherry Hill Volvo. Our team would be honored to partner with you.
Tune in to Crash Proof Retirement Show, Saturdays at 11 a.m. to hear Phil Cannella and Joanne Small. The Crash Proof Retirement Show, Saturday mornings at 11 on Talk Radio 1210.
40 days to lose up to 40-plus pounds with NJ Diet. It only takes 40 days to lose a contractually guaranteed 20 to 40-plus pounds. NJ Diet uses your hair, saliva, and blood work to personalize supplements that will target your hormonal imbalances so you can lose that weight. Then NJ Diet uses your DNA info to help you keep it off. Call Dr. T, 855-5-NJ-DIET, or go to njdiet.com. 40 days up to 40 pounds, 40 days up to 40 pounds, NJ Diet.
Does he love me? What's he thinking? Is he cheating on me?
If love has you guessing, Spirit Now's trusted psychics have the answers. For over 15 years, we've helped thousands find their true path in love. Whether it's your current partner, an ex, or finding your soulmate, our gifted advisors offer clarity and guidance. We'll ease your worries and show you the way forward. With Spirit Now, you can find the comfort and joy you deserve. Wondering if true love is out there? Feeling lost? Our compassionate psychics are ready to listen and guide you. Discover what love has in store. Take advantage of our special offer today. Your first reading is just $1 a minute. Visit spiritnow.com or call 888-809-1444. That's 888-809-1444.
The guidance I got really changed everything for me.
Your first reading is just $1 a minute. Visit spiritnow.com or call 888-809-1444. Your true path in love starts with Spirit Now. Call 888-809-1444.
Broadcasting live from the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and on the free Odyssey app.
All right, Dom Giordano show. So far with Vice President Harris, we need to pay child care providers better. No questions, at least that I've seen, about inflation. What are the things that are going to get rid of that baked-in inflation? No, just saying, we know the grocery prices are too high. And Trump is Hitler. We'll get that. That'll probably come up later. What about all this rhetoric? They'll say, hasn't Trump been the one that has provoked all that? All right. I think they'll get around to the tax on tips. Trump even saying overtime, which is mandated in many circumstances, removing the tax on that. But this is so different from the outright hostile. Well, Trump is a racist. That woman was exactly right. And if you brought in what was done to Trump when he spoke to this group, to the fact they're thinking, well, that's the way you treat a racist. Well, this guy, the alleged assassin, is taking the other part of this. Not only is he a racist, I mean, he's Hitler incarnate. We've not seen anybody like this in a long time. So the way you stop that is to kill him on the sixth hole. You go down in the history books, you'll be immortalized, and you have done the right thing. And Democrats will get you out anyhow. My God, they might have parades for you someday. Isn't that exactly what's going on here? And when you couple that with the arrogance and the ineffectiveness of the Secret Service, then you have a volatile mix. I don't know how it would play, but I'm in the camp that Trump should get his own private security in addition to whatever the Secret Service offers, at least to do the perimeter. If he's playing golf or anything else where you want to establish the perimeter. And I happen to think as much, we're going to see this debate in Butler, the shooting there. Local law enforcement doesn't like it. They were made the fall guy by these morons that head up Secret Service. You know it, and I know it. And I don't think they were the Keystone Cops. I think the Keystone Cops were all these DEIs and others. They're in the Secret Service. The locals didn't have the ability to supersede that. They couldn't even communicate with them when you go back to Butler. And in this case, they apparently weren't asked to cover the perimeter. I think they would have said, hey, we would have seen this guy in the bushes. We know the place. You got to be kidding me. The guy there for 12 hours, and we're not going to think something's up? Of course we would have gotten him out of there. This is as bad as the excuses, or worse. Here, it's malfeasance. They didn't even think to cover the perimeter. They were relying, and they mentioned this yesterday, on being one hole ahead and looking at things. Well, that still means this guy might have been able to get a shot off as they're doing that looking, and he was within that distance. Surely we're not reduced to this. You're that moronic that we wouldn't have people establishing a perimeter. All right, let's go to the callers. Hit us with that all-time folk hero. Let's go to Frank in South Philly. All right, Frank, who's your folk hero?
Hey, Dom, good afternoon. How we doing today?
Good, Frank.
My folk hero, I believe he's doing a lot for the communities, is Shaquille O'Neal. He goes to different restaurants and helps out people under stress or people that have needs. And he's spreading a lot of money throughout the neighborhoods. The other guy back in the day was Magic Johnson, but he did it in corporation way with buying like Starbucks and all that kind of stuff.
Thank you, Frank. Yeah, he's been at least a deputy sheriff of some sort, and he's certainly has the size.
Started his own shoe brand to help lower income people have nice basketball shoes.
That's a good one, and his size alone puts him into that category. So all this coming off Nick Foles last night. We'll have the lightning round coming up, and we'll get a winner. 855-839-1210. You get on board. But you talk, the puffery of this with Kamala Harris is even more, this is every government program imaginable, working to fix historic housing inequities. It's all that. Let's get back to the grocery store. How about the National Black Journalists zoning in on things that affect everybody, black, white, or whatever? Grocery store prices. Shouldn't that be at least 10 minutes of discussion? It's all in the follow-up. Well, I don't understand what the program is here. You don't seem like you have any sense. You're telling us these are baked in. Those are what the prices are going to be. Isn't that what it comes down to? That there's nothing you're going to do here that remotely is going to change that. All this is, again, about inequities. Meanwhile, Trump is making inroads. There was a lot of talk about black male voters and why they would consider Trump. But the essential thing is just simply the issue of the grocery. And you can't blow past that. You have plenty of time. She's going to be there an hour. How about a few follow-up questions? How about just working on that? It's stunning to me. It's stunning when you finally have the opportunity. This is even easier than they got with Dana Bash. Let me go to Kevin here on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Kevin, what's this about? If you want a Trump sign in my area, it'll cost you $5.
Well, I live in Berks County.
Shoemakerville.
I live in Blandon.
Okay.
Very small town in Berks County. And I'm a road salesman, so I get to travel around the state. And because the Republican office in our area is charging $5 for a Trump sign, I decided to maybe check some of the other areas in the state where I travel to see if they're charging. And I didn't find any others yet. So it may be something that's going on in PA, but I've yet to find it.
Yeah, thank you very much. You would think they'd want people to put up those signs. There are some places where they're charging you kind of a license fee to put it on your lawn. All right, the lightning round is next. Get in at 855-839-1210.
Kale and Company, weekday mornings, 6 till 10.
I don't know if you guys agree with this, but if I'm Trump, I'm no longer taking phone calls from Joe Biden or Kamala Harris. My iPhone rings. You see the little accept or decline button? Decline. I did the photo op with you on 9/11 after the stage debate on ABC. Kamala will be right back on the wagon today, I'm sure, and you're going to hear the same old rhetoric. Not about her opportunity economy and the specifics of what that entails, but just the general entry-level stupid verbiage.
Start your day with Kale and Company, weekday mornings 6 till 10 on Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and the free Odyssey app.
Hey, Dawn Stensland here. You've heard me talk about Chapman Windows, Doors, and Siding for years now. I just love my new patio doors and love the work the Chapman family team has done in my home. You know by now, if I needed windows, doors, or siding, I would only trust the Chapman team. If you're thinking of updating your front entry door, right now is the perfect time for it. For the entire month of September, Chapman is offering free hardware on a new front door, up to a $500 value. An updated front door can really change the curb appeal of your home and obviously increase the resale value. Whether you're looking for a single door, double door, or maybe a door with beautiful side lights, their experienced project consultants can help you choose that perfect new door for your home. If you or somebody you know is looking for windows, doors, siding, shutters, or hardware, give them a call. You can text 610-431-8898. You can always take an online virtual tour, ChapmanWindowsDoors.com. Chapman, the name I trust. Tell them Dawn sent you.
See Joe Conklin with the City Rhythm Orchestra at Cherokee High School in Marlton, New Jersey, Saturday, October 26th. It's the story of Philadelphia sports put to music.
He does a lot of parodies of different songs to see it all come together, which is awesome. And then the whole family and his daughter. The Carson Wentz hate definitely resonated.
And I love the Frank Sinatra guy, and I thought the drummer was fabulous. Go Joe, go Birds. It was awesome.
That's Conklin with City Rhythm at Cherokee High School in Marlton, New Jersey, Saturday, October 26th. For tickets, go to joeconklin.com. joeconklin.com!
Hi, I'm Rachel, and I have a serious heart condition called hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, or HCM. Some symptoms include being short of breath, feeling tired, or having dizziness or chest pain. I still had symptoms on my beta blocker, so I asked my cardiologist about any treatment advances. It was a breakthrough for me. That's why I'm working with Bristol Myers Squibb to raise awareness about HCM and to help others like me. Talk to your cardiologist today and visit hcmrealtalk.com for more information.
Sponsored by Bristol Myers Squibb.
The following is a paid commercial announcement.
Just 2 years ago, Bob Casey told us his vote for $1 trillion spending spree would miraculously reduce inflation. Casey promised his vote will reduce inflation. Have you been to a grocery store lately? Did Casey reduce anything except his credibility? In fact, it was Bob Casey's vote for reckless spending that caused this inflation in the first place. Prices went up, and now you're paying more for almost everything. Casey admits he failed. Prices have skyrocketed. Just listen to Casey.
You have boneless chicken going up 38%, and paper products like toilet paper going up 35%.
Groceries cost more. Rent and housing cost more. Pennsylvania families are struggling. Casey promised to fix this mess. Instead, he made it worse. Bob Casey failed. We need a change to get back on track. It's time to change Washington. It's time to fire Bob Casey. Senate Leadership Fund paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. SenateLeadershipFund.org.
Warning, the following ZipRecruiter radio spot you are about to hear is going to be filled with F words.
When you're hiring, we at ZipRecruiter know you can feel frustrated, forlorn even, like your efforts are futile, and you can spend a fortune trying to find fabulous people only to get flooded with candidates who are just fine. Fortunately, ZipRecruiter figured out how to fix all of that. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, you can forget your frustrations because we find the right people for your roles fast, which is our absolute favorite F word. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day.
Fantastic.
So, whether you need to hire 4, 40, or 400 people, get ready to meet first-rate talent. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. Don't forget, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. Finally, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
You're not going to want to miss this. You're not going to want to miss this. Listen to Kale and Company Thursday morning at 8:30 for a special announcement from Talk Radio 1210. WPHT.
The time has come for the final test.
We usually call it the lightning round.
Oh, I see some good ones. I'm coming to you. Dom's Lightning Round, sponsored by Cherry Hill Volvo. Enjoy back-to-school savings on a 36-month lease of an exciting C40, only $369 per month. Down payment, taxes, and registration fees due at inception, except no taxes on the C40 in New Jersey. Visit Cherry Hill Volvo today. I just saw this Trump coming Sunday to Our Lady of Czestochowa. Remember, we told you the Polish aspect. And the Polish president is also going to be there. Oh, man. Dan's back. I got to send Dan Borowski to cover that. All right. Let's go to Pat in Lehigh Valley. All right, Pat, who's the folk hero? Yo, Pat. All right. Sorry, Pat. Let's go to Joe in Exton. Joe, who's your folk hero today?
Yes, hello, Dom, and good afternoon.
Afternoon, Joe.
My folk hero is Karol Wojtyła, better known as Pope John Paul I, the Polish Pope. He is a folk hero because he stood up to and confronted the Russian head of state when he threatened to annex Polish territory.
Very good one. He helped the Reagan, Maggie Thatcher, et cetera, to bring down the Soviet Union, arguably. I like this one. It's an anti-hero, but they were folk heroes, too. Mike and Hamilton, who's yours?
Don, during the Depression, a lot of people blamed their bad times on the government and even more the banks. So there were a pair of folk heroes who roamed around the countryside, robbing banks and helping out people until they met their demise. And that would be Bonnie and Clyde.
That's a pretty interesting, yeah. Bruce has one that's iconic. Hey, Bruce in the Northeast. Afternoon, Bruce. Who's yours?
Hey, Dom. Some would consider Joe from Exton as a folk hero. But,
yeah. He was at our event last Thursday. Yep.
There you go. Yeah, Rosie the River will be considered like an iconic folk hero,
Without a doubt. I've seen many, many posters. All right, Henry, there's at least 4 or 5, but just try to keep 3 here that you think are worthy today.
Yeah, I think the 3 that stuck out to me, based on, how well they sold it.
Yeah.
Doug in Phoenixville was first up. Davy Crockett.
Yeah, it was
quote
funny.
At the end, yeah. Michael in Bethlehem. I'd never heard of the story of Joey Coyle before today.
Yes.
So I found that fascinating. And then I liked Mike and Hamilton's answer of Bonnie and Clyde.
Yeah. I like Joey Coyle because of the local angle. There was a lot to that. Anti-hero kind of. I don't know about a Robin Hood quite with that. Bonnie and Clyde. Let's go with Joey Coyle.
Yeah, Michael in Bethlehem. You're in the
Yep.
house.
All right.
By the way, check out Money for Nothing. It's a story about
Okay.
Joey Coyle when he found the money. It's called Money for Nothing.
Is
It's
a
a
film.
movie,
Okay.
yes.
Yep. All right, so Richie always next. We're back tomorrow, and again, we'll have a great side question. I'll continue to look at the transcript of Kamala Harris to see if there was anything. It wasn't even softballs. This is T-ball that's being done here with this. Her first interview, essentially alone. Oh, my God. Withstand it. Well, no, that was with Brian Taff. But this is more extended, alone, with another hometown advantage. All right, we'll have a great side question, too. Follow on Twitter at DomShow1210. Rich is next, Talk Radio 1210, WPHT.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that.